You just gotta love it when a nice, familiar beat comes on. You gotta love it when we do these things randomly. But the circumstances over the last 7 days have called for it. The industry said, Hollywood and Big Sin, we need you. You are wanted. You are loved. We're throwing out the bat signal. And so here we are. That's my man Big Sin over there.
Yep.
I'm your boy Hollywood J Blaq right here. And we are the damn industry outsiders in the MFL building. Vibing out to this thing for a little bit. Man, it's been a while since we did one of these, man.
Yeah.
But like I said, it calls for it. The madness that has gone on in the last week, over the last month even, has necessitated this meeting of the mind.
Yeah.
It has gone crazy. What the hell is going on in wrestling?
AEW is doing their best to become WCW. That's what the fuck is going on.
Now, and I had some thoughts about that, and we're gonna have a conversation about that whole thing and the end of it. But if that was like the only crazy thing that happened over the last month or so,
there's a whole shitload of shit that's happened. Let's get one thing out of the way.
Yes.
Thank you, Vince McMahon. You're a piece of shit. Thank you for leaving the company so Triple H could do what he did.
The king is dead. Long live the king. That's what it is.
That's all we're going to say about Vinnie Mac.
Okay. Regardless of where you stand on this issue, which we pray and hope you stand on the right side of history, okay? But regardless of where you stand, you can't deny the impact that Vince McMahon has had for wrestling as a whole, right? Like,
So Vince McMahon should be treated like I treat Chris Benoit for what he did for the industry.
Yeah.
Not for what his personal shitty shit was. You know?
True. The thing is that Mr. McMahon is an iconic wrestling character. Vince McMahon is an iconic wrestling owner. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, however,
is a very ruthless businessman.
Yes. And overall sexist and POS. And sometimes things happen. And
remember, he called John Cena his.
Yeah.
While Booker T and Sharmell were standing there.
On national television. I just want to clarify.
And got away with it. Clean.
Because who's going to tell him no? Especially at that time, who's going to tell him no?
Right?
So for those of you who don't know, Vince McMahon got popped up with the allegations, and the allegations stacked on more allegations, and the allegations have damn near turned into tax evasion at this point.
What was the final numbers? 5.8 million?
No, 15 million, sir. 15.8 million. 5.8 is what they just found recently. The other 10 million was from when it first popped off. 15.8 million in settlement money to various females that we're probably never going to hear from again, and probably the ones that you really haven't heard from in a long time.
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes. Sometimes as Vince McMahon, he felt that he can do what he wants, and people enabled him to that fact, right? Like we can't sit here and deny it.
You got to think about this. The 80s, the 90s, Vince McMahon, the steroid shit in the 80s.
Yep.
All the 90s shit.
Yep.
The Montreal Screwjob. Fucking. Yep. What else? You got the buying of WCW. You got the almost monopolizing of the mainstream wrestling industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things. And then you come up with your own brand. You let your son-in-law make this thing something, and then you fire everybody. And it's like, no more independent talent. Only homegrown talent.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the product was bad because it's produced some great wrestlers, but it's not what people wanted out of NXT.
You talking about now, or are you talking about
2.0? Okay. When 2.0 started.
All right. So I'm glad that we're actually going to be able to sit down and have this 2.0 conversation because, as you know, Big Sin, the 1 year anniversary of 2.0 is next week.
Next week.
Okay, so we have literally had a whole year of NXT 2.0 to kind of assess and figure out, which is why I'm glad that we're doing this show as it is now. And then we're just kind of, so for those that are probably watching or eventually watching, there's no structure. We don't have a script. We don't have a topic list. There's a lot of shit to go over. It may take us a while.
So, and the reason we are doing this like this in a podcast and vlogcast form is because me and this motherfucker right here will sit here for an hour during a random video, just bullshit about wrestling and not record any of it. So.
Oh, you mean after we got done? So to paraphrase, after we were completely done with NFL, we met our hour mark for the first time ever. We met a goal. We hit an hour talking about NFL, and then what did we do the last 20 minutes of the show?
21 minutes of talking about wrestling.
And so, which necessitated this. So, if you are a wrestling fan, I implore you to stay around. We're gonna have some fun here, but there's a lot to go over. So let's start with let's start there, because we got to get to Triple H, and we got to get to his legacy now, because he is now taking over WWE. Essentially, DX has completed their takeover of WWE 25 years later. That was their goal 25 years ago in 1997, and they have finally accomplished that goal. So it's taken this long. Sometimes this is the greatest storyline in the history of ever, and nobody's talking about it. So we got to get right to it, and it starts with the 2.0 product. The downfall of Vince McMahon, to me, started with the change of NXT 2.0, because wrestling was pretty much consistent at that point, right? It wasn't bad.
Okay, so NXT Black and Gold moved to Tuesdays, which is fine. It gave us pretty much wrestling every night of the week.
Yep.
When you count Dark and Elevation.
Yep.
Then you had Raw, NXT, AEW Dynamite, Dark Elevation, which Dark and Elevation run now Monday and Thursday.
Yeah.
And Rampage on Friday.
Yeah.
So you had a full 5-day slate of wrestling, if you wanted.
And if you had a pay-per-view, you were really in business, weren't you? Right?
Let's look at this past weekend.
Yeah.
We had WWE Clash of the Castle. Mm-hmm. We had NXT, their pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Worlds Collide.
Yep.
And we had AEW All Out. We're going to go touch bases here on each one of those, but All Out will be the majority of this because of what got overshadowed because of a media scrum after the product was over.
Exactly. So, like I said, with the whole year of NXT 2.0 that we have on the book. So, for those that don't know, Triple H suffered a heart issue. We did actually talk about it in one of the NFL shows. Oddly enough,
we talked about it in the WrestleMania show.
On the WrestleMania show, yes, we did.
That was the last time we did this. Was WrestleMania.
Yeah. That's very true. And so we talked about the Triple H heart issue in full, and we were worried that he may not even come back to wrestling. That was like, holy shit, this might be a real thing, because we saw that the Pritchards and the Laurinaitis have taken over, and Shawn Michaels was tasked with basically rebuilding NXT 2.0 into the shape of that Vince McMahon wanted, which means that over-the-top characters, guys that had just over-the-top personality, things like that. Now, there were shades of 1.0 still in there, mixed in with 2.0. I would say in my MVP, and I know that we love Braun Breaker, but Braun Breaker is literally 2.0, right? Yeah. So my MVPs literally of NXT are the two 1.0 tenured guys in there, and every time that they've stepped into the ring with each other, they've always had banger matches, and every time they've been in solo-wise, they've had banger matches against other opponents, and have really carried the brand. And for those that don't know what I'm talking about Carmelo Hayes and Cameron Grimes.
Yes, I was hoping you were going to Cameron Grimes, because that dude, he came from the indie scene.
Yep.
He's a guy who Vince wanted nothing to do with at all. Triple H brought him in. Cameron got on Vince's good side.
Yeah.
And Cameron, whenever he stepped into the ring, magic happens.
Yes.
Now, as far as Carmelo, he went through the the tournament that he won.
The breakout tournament before Triple
Breakout
H.
tournament.
Yeah.
So that was the last thing Triple H put together. So you can put him there, but he is more of a 2.0 guy since he was on the 2.0 War Games team.
True. And the reason why I call him a 1.0 guy, because he was the last holdover from that era that actually generated success continuously after 2.0.
Yeah, with the exception of Cameron Grimes, yes.
With the exception of Cameron Grimes. And like I said, they're very parallel because they both had compelling stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Cameron Grimes story was all about basically redemption, coming close and not sealing the deal. And he finally sealed the deal when he won the NXT North American Championship from Carmelo Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
And subsequently, Carmelo Hayes, in this, they call it a love triangle. When it's wrestling, I call it a thug triangle, where we had Carmelo Hayes, Solo Sikoa, and Cameron Grimes all beefing with each other for at least a good 2 or 3 months. That was absolutely fucking beautiful.
And in the meantime of that, Solo Sikoa was street fighting Von Wagner every other NXT.
Yeah, and the beef between him and Grayson Waller too. That was a good thing.
So we'll talk about Solo here in a minute.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you, who are your, I'll say, 5 standouts from 2.0 who you think are going to be that future for the WWE? I know one of them we agree on, which is Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker is the future of this business.
Yeah. So if we're talking about straight out 2.0 class.
2.0, not UK. We'll talk about NXT UK here in a minute.
Yeah.
But the 2.0 original cast that came in when that happened.
All right. So we would have to somewhat exclude Carmelo Hayes because the vision, I would exclude Carmelo because the vision that he has now, I think, is the accelerated vision of what Shawn Michaels and Triple H had for him ahead of time.
Yeah, when he was when he started on Black and Gold, because he was only on Black and Gold for like 2 months.
Yeah. So I said we get rid of that vision. So if we're gonna go with that, then you would really have to say we know Braun. We agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We would also, I would even say Grayson Waller. Although my only concern with Grayson Waller is because he's involved in everything, he's also been involved in nothing.
So but my issue with Grayson Waller, is that he tries too hard to be the Miz. That is my main issue.
I think they make him try too hard to be the Miz.
I know.
And that's what it is.
I'm not a fan of Grayson Waller. I don't watch his matches.
He's good.
Yeah,
and I would say, and I'll even go along lines of saying he's great.
Spot, I'll give him credit for that spot against Apollo Crews, where he did the rolling stunner and he poked him in the eye right before he did that shit.
Yeah.
That's great storytelling.
Dude's a great heel. Like from without take away the Miz-ish stuff, right? If you could just take that from him, which is just a couple of the mannerisms and the reality show bullshit.
He'd be a great shit heel. Yes.
Yeah, sure. He's a perfect shit heel. But that's what that problem is. And so then we say Solo Sikoa, right? Mm-hmm. So for the men, that's my 3. So then I'm gonna have to go to the women for the other 2 spots, and it's not in any particular order. So a lot of people want to be like, or want to talk about Nikita Lyons and shit like that. I honestly think that Wendy Chu, for one,
because she went from being the leader of that weird cult with fucking Xia Li and Homeboy.
Yep. So completely different character.
To be the complete polar opposite.
Yeah.
But Wendy Chu is a monster.
Yeah.
She is awesome.
She was really good. She's a really great wrestler outside of the whole NXT bubble, because before she came over, she's an internationally renowned wrestler. You know what I'm saying? And so in this 2.0, she's taking this Wendy Chu character that just likes to be comfortable and sleep and have fun and stuff like that. That is a very much over-the-top character, which has gotten over.
And she also made that one chick better.
Yeah.
The model chick, Stratton.
Yes, Tiff Stratton, yes.
Tiff Stratton had problems connecting with people until she got in his feet with Wendy Chu.
Yes. Because the whole daddy shtick, and that was literally, I felt like it was something really out of the fucking John Laurinaitis fucking.
That was Vince and John Laurinaitis.
Hated that fucking shit. I hate it because initially, I went to a 2.0 show right when it started, okay? And this was right before War Games.
Mm-hmm.
The initial presentation really honestly felt like this was a parody of A Daughter of Vince McMahon. Yeah. That's the initial, because when
it was Stephanie before the boob job and before Manny Voyage.
And Daddy was not a a actual father figure. Daddy was like a sugar daddy. Okay, that's what that shit was. And that's how it was. And they redid the whole entire thing. Other things that they also redid was the Joe Gacy thing. Joe Gacy was very much deep into the occult let me rephrase that. Joe Gacy was about the making things more inclusive, right? Okay, and that was the excuse that they used to make NXT level up,
and the excuse they used to get rid of the cruiserweight title.
Yeah, and they debuted guys like the one that's been trying to hunch on Ricochet in a couple promo videos, the big dude. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about the Super Diva?
Yeah, like that was like you don't need an excuse to bring him. Oh, boy's actually a really, really great wrestler. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Oh, girl, whatever his pronoun is.
What happened to the other big black dude?
Oh, he got injured. So I watched the match where he got injured in. That was the one thing this again before War Games. Mm-hmm. He had a match with I want to say Von Wagner. Yeah. You probably have to go back because it was actually on TV when the injury happened.
Okay, I'm at to watch it then.
He fucked up his ankle. For Odyssey Jones, when you fuck up your ankle with a big dude, you know me and you, we fucked up our ankles real bad.
We both have ankle issues.
Yeah, we to this day. Yeah. So, but my number 5 MVP, Toxic Attraction as a fucking whole.
I'm going to argue that they were black and gold because they were with Mandy Rose way before 2.0 started.
Were they though?
Remember, Mandy came in, she fought Sarai. When Sarai did that dropkick and broke her nose,
that's
what Toxic Attraction formed.
But
they were part of black and gold.
Okay, so if that's where we're gonna take that part out, then you really gotta go. You gotta go with Cora Jade, dude. That she went through two different things.
Besides the botch of the skateboard,
mm-hmm.
and her,
which is why you don't use a pre-broken skateboard and make sure that's nice and tight beforehand.
Which is why Darby Allin does what he does with his skateboard, and he doesn't break ever.
No. That the presentation of Cora Jade has been good, and the fact that they were able to sign Roxy made this feud very much organic.
Yes,
I can't say I haven't seen too much of Roxy in order to be like to make it an MVP, but what I have seen,
watch her match this past Tuesday against what's her name?
Oh, I did, and it was Satomura.
Yep. She took everything Satomura had to give.
But we talked about Miko Satomura. Matter of fact, we just talked about it on the show. Dude, it goes back. Everybody's like, she's like a 25-year vet. This would be the equivalent of what was it? We're basically watching in prime John Cena at this point. Miko Satomura was on Nitro. Mm-hmm. She was in WWE in the early days.
Yep. As a really skinny young lady getting knocked out by Asia Kong.
And it's gone. And that career is lost at this long. And they rewarded her with the NXT UK Championship. She held it for a really long time. She
carried that brand for 2 years.
Yeah. Miko Satomura is the truth. And the fact that she's actually on NXT 2.0 now, mm-hmm. which it's now you feel, though, that it's no longer a 2.0 anymore.
No, I think it's going to 3.0.
Well, did you see the new logo no longer has 2.0, but it still has NXT on there? So the new logo that they're pushing.
They're going to get rid of the 2.0.
And they're going to get rid of all them damn colors. And it's going to be the same shape, but all the colors are gone, and there's no 2.0 in that logo, which is really interesting.
Is it black gold, though?
No, it's black and white, like almost like NWO style.
That works because it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of white in the 2.0.
Yeah.
But going back to Cora Jade and Roxy, is a natural evolution right here because Cora Jade got that respect from Natalya Neidhart to where Roxanne Perez got that respect from Satomura. Mm-hmm. I could see potentially Natty and Cora Jade against Satomura and Roxy Perez, and that would be a hell of a match.
Oh, that'd be a hell of a match. My only issue is that because Mandy Rose has been the queen of this whole shit, right? Mm-hmm. There's got to be a payoff somewhere, and I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't want Mandy Rose to lose the title.
Well, Mandy wants to go back to the main roster. She's already told WWE.
Oh, I know. But right now,
Bo Priestley. That's who you put the belt on.
No, Priestley's not there no more. Oh no, Bea Priestley. Yes, she is.
I can't remember. I don't remember her NXT name.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. Yeah, Bea Priestley is there. I'm tripping. I was thinking
she was just in the triple threat.
Yeah,
against Mandy and
that's right.
Satomura.
That's right. And I just thought to myself, I don't know. Like I can't think of a scenario where she loses because they've really wanted her. The thing is, they really wanted her to lose to Nikita Lyons. They've been really. Lyons
keeps getting hurt.
Yep, and you know,
you can't have her lose. You can't have her lose the last treasure because she's trash.
Exactly. So the Roxy and Cora J beef exists in a universe of its own and draws everybody in, right? But Miko Satomura, drawn in Miko Satomura, you know, and now we're gonna get some Satomura Cora J love. That's gonna be a match,
which
right
I think will bring in Natalya because Natalya is not doing anything right now.
So if we can get Natalya and Miko Satomura,
that's what I want to see. Even in a tag team match, just those two facing off. Yes, I know Natalya is boring, but that girl can go. Dude, she just needs to stop doing the discus clothesline, and she'll have the perfect offense.
Well, she's trying to do what her daddy does, and I get it. It's fine.
It doesn't matter. It don't. Fuck that. She's too slow doing it.
She used to be hella quick on that shit too. Quick spin, bum, hit you with it.
Not anymore.
You know yeah, it used to be, but all she used to do is like she used to spin, hit you, and drop down with it like a rock bottom, but not like a pick up, lift up, just boom, boom. And now she don't do that shit no more. I'm just
so my 5, of course, like we said, Braun.
Yep.
Tony D'Angelo.
Yep. Okay.
That dude is legit.
I like Tony D'Angelo as a wrestler. I think he's technically sound. I like the way he moves in the ring. I like how he's able to tell a story in the ring. I had the chance to watch him live twice now. Mm-hmm. And I feel that as a wrestler, there's probably top 5 in NXT 2.0 as a wrestler. Not I think
he'll be an NXT North American champion before long.
Soon. As a wrestler, I love Tony D'Angelo. As a character, it's
overly Italian.
Yeah, overly Italian, bro. This is something else. Okay, and
which is why they had to move Santos Escobar on.
Yeah,
because Santos Legado del Fantasma was the perfect stable in NXT.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I really hope they do move him to SmackDown, which is what the rumor is.
That's the goal. I believe so.
But they had to get that away from each other because having Santos and Legado join Tony D'Angelo's family made no fucking sense.
No, it made sense
as a gang war.
The gang war match though was fun. Like I watched that shit. Like that match was fun as fuck.
Yeah.
No,
they worked very well together.
But you're very right though. Like it comes to a point where you're like, this doesn't make sense, and this shit needs to die like really fast. Like I'm talking about the Tony D'Angelo Santos Escobar feud. Mm-hmm. There has to be a closing, and yes, the closing was Santos leaving, and then he came and picked up his boys and said, "You didn't think I was gonna leave without y'all, did you?"
Which shit, I was like, "Thank you."
Like for real. Like I'm loving it though. Like my only issue is if he goes to SmackDown, what are we going to do with him? Are we going to tag them up, just make the tag team and then Santos be the boss? Are we going to have him Santos beef against Walter? Like because that's ready made right there.
We'll talk to WWE here and we'll talk about that shit in a minute. Because I only named 2 people in my 5.
Okay, go ahead.
Tony D'Angelo. I don't like him, but I think he's going to be a good big man. Von Wagner.
Okay.
As far as the women go, I got to go because she's so good in the fucking ring. The girl who's with the Country Boy tag team.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Oh my goodness.
I like her and I like Ivy Nile.
Ivy Nile is really fucking good. Ivy Nile has been overshadowed by the fact that
the Diamond Mine is doing with the Creed brothers.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how they deviated from the vision of what's his name? What was the boy's name? Apollo Crews. So remember, the vision is that the Diamond Mine was laid all out, mm-hmm. and Ivy Nile was nowhere to be found.
Yes.
Well, although that made sense because
she was
Diamond Mine ended up all laid out, mm-hmm. and Ivy Nile was nowhere to be found.
She was over in UK working with that other girl that she's with now.
Yep.
But So we all know what the story's going to be with the Dynamite. It wasn't just what's his name? The black dude. What's his name?
You talking about old boy's brother? I can't remember his wrestling name though.
It's not just him, but it's him and Roderick setting up the Creed brothers. We all know this.
But then no boy attack.
That's what they're saying. I don't think it was actually an attack.
You don't think it was an attack?
I think Roddy and him are planning this shit.
That would be crazy because
they want to. What's Roddy's main goal? Knock Julius down.
Yeah.
And he can't do that if he's got to take on Brutus.
So speaking of which,
Damon Kemp. That's what I'm about.
Damon Kemp. So speaking of which, since we're on that, so do you know that Gable Steveson, which is Damon Kemp's real life brother,
the one that Triple H is not going to use anytime soon? Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is, the reason why he's not using him is because he's been nowhere to be found. He's been MIA, not returning calls from WWE.
Ever since Vince left. Yes, I know.
Because you imagine what the good Stevenson brothers, Damon Kemp. That's crazy to think about. That old boy has a ton of potential. You've seen the way that he looks like a very large Kurt Angle with how crisp some of his moves are.
Yeah, he's got that. And he's got that. With learning from Roddy, he's got the backbreakers. Yeah, because he hit Julius with that nasty ass one.
Yeah, and what about in that fucking belly to belly?
Yep. But I can see the Creed brothers going main roster and having a big success.
Oh no, and that's the thing. And so they've been recently talking about. They sent out an email to people who went to NXT shows, and they're making them pick the stipulation.
It's going to be like the Cyber Sunday shit.
Yeah. So I believe one of the stipulations is loser leaves.
See, that's where I think Roderick Strong gets involved, and the Creed brothers are gone. Then you have the blowout match where the Creed brothers say goodbye to NXT because let's be completely 100 here. The Creed brothers are much better than NXT can provide.
Well, yeah, but they've hit their ceiling. They won the tag team titles, and then they got snaked out of them.
And I hate Pretty Deadly. I do not like that team in NXT UK. I don't like them in NXT. They are fake-ass Tyler Breezes. I do not like these two.
What are you talking about? They're just nothing but wrestling Siegfried and Roy. What the fuck are you talking about?
Fake-ass Tyler Breezes. I wish they would re-sign Fandango and have the Fashion Police against those two idiots.
I thought that was going to happen one day, and I'm surprised that it didn't. I was like, you got Breezango finally over here, and now you're not going to.
Well, because you also got to remember, Fandango took some time out for wrestling.
Yeah, he did. And then, of course, Breeze left. And
Breeze is now working for Up, Up, Down, Down, so he still has connection in WWE.
Yeah, yeah. But he's getting paid by them because Up, Up, Down, Down is mainly it's a WWE owned product, but it's being paid for by G4 now.
Yep.
So which is pretty nice. That's a pretty fun deal.
All right, so NXT, those are our bright spots over there. Let's talk about the recent additions of terminated folk over to the main roster.
Oh yes. Also, before we so we can segue into that, what do you think? Since we got the year coming up and Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and we found out Shawn Michaels was the one that basically he has full reign over NXT now, and then back in talent relations stuff like that. Where do you feel that this goes after this year mark? Do you think? Because right now they're gutting the way gutting the Vince McMahon plan, which was testing people every 90 days. That's thrown out now. You know what I'm saying? There's no more 90-day plan.
No.
So will they avoid situations like what happened with Parker Boudreaux where they cut him after 90 days?
So with that situation there, NXT is still ultimately a developmental territory.
Well, yeah, but they didn't let him develop. How many wrestling matches did you see him in?
Like 5.
Okay, so in every match, it was a squash match, right?
Yeah.
But
that's because what Vince McMahon saw in Parker Boudreaux was Brock Lesnar with no personality. So sticking with Joe Gacy, and Joe Gacy's the only one getting over in the relationship.
And that's the problem because, and me and you've talked about this. When I saw this live, when we did this last time, this whole thing was supposed to set up to have Boudreaux go against Braun Breaker. That's how this was set up as. And then when they fired Boudreaux, this whole story went to shit, and it no longer made sense. And they had to blow it off with the match that they did and the stipulations that they did.
Which was a good match.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker and Joe Gacy worked very well together.
Yes. So do you think that do we return to more of a Triple H vision for this? Do you think that Triple H and Shawn Michaels actually collaborate and do this? Does Shawn Michaels just completely take the reins again, but it becomes a different vision in all of Shawn Michaels' glory? Like, what are your thoughts on that before we?
I think we're going to get a hodgepodge here.
Okay.
You're going to get these, because obviously these people who WWE signed are very fucking talented.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
That's, I know people were mad when they were all coming in, all these fresh faces. Over the last year, they have shown how good they fucking are, and that Vince McMahon still had that eye for talent.
Yes. Yes. Also, go ahead.
But now they could bring in these indie guys. Not the ones who moved on to the main roster. We're not going to talk about the Garganos, Ciampas, Loomises as of yet.
Yeah.
But you need to, maybe bring Indy Hartwell up to the main roster. Bring some of these long-term NXT people up to see if they sink or swim on the main roster.
Yes, I feel that. And which leads into the last thing that they did. Well, the last big thing that they did before the full Triple H takeover was there was a ton of injuries in the NXT tryouts, and these are including people that signed NIL deals, right? And it went horrible, which made the mandate now we are no longer signing people who do not have wrestling experience.
Which is the smartest thing. So when they did that NIL thing, there are cheerleaders, there are people who Vince McMahon looks at as stars, but they're not.
Yep.
I mean, case in point, the whole Eva Marie experience. Eva Marie is a very, very, very good person to have on a TV screen. Just not in a fucking wrestling ring, stinking up the joint, and you expect people to take her seriously by trying to have her beat Asuka in NXT. No! There's a reason why Doudrop is actually over, even though the name is shit. And Piper Niven was like, no, I'm going to keep Doudrop because I know I can make this work.
I love fucking Doudrop.
And the receipt that she gave Gigi Dolan for blooding her nose on NXT was fucked.
Yes. Yes. Yes, and thank you.
I love Gigi Dolan. I love Gigi.
So we're closing the section on NXT is that we're a year in. Now with Triple H and Shawn Michaels in charge, bright things are.
I think you gotta have Shawn Michaels continue with these basically 1 year rookies that have been in the system now, while Triple H brings in that independent talent and that NXT UK talent to supplement some good feuds while NXT Europe is being put together.
Yeah.
And then also, because the rumors are Kairi Sane has contacted WWE about coming back now that Vince is gone and Nia Jax is gone.
Yeah.
With Io and Asuka on the main roster, you could have Io, Asuka, and Kairi together.
Well, the whole NXT thing, now that definitely with Vince is gone, because remember having NXT worldwide was Triple H's plan from the get-go.
Yep. Because remember, they're supposed to have NXT UK, NXT Japan, and NXT Brazil.
Yeah.
Japan and Brazil never happened because Vince didn't want to compete against New Japan, and he just didn't want to go to Brazil.
Well, now the thing is, if he puts the right people in charge, it should be fun. That's what I can look at it. So now,
see what they do at NXT Europe, and that has something to do. I'll jump to one thing real quick.
Yeah,
and I told you this yesterday with Malachi Black. I think he's going to take time off. He will come to an agreement with Tony Khan with a conditional release.
Yeah,
to where he can go sign where he wants to go, be with his wife in WWE, and probably go to NXT and run Europe over there.
And I always say, and we'll get to that when we get to the All Out, because I felt like there was so much of a missed opportunity there, and considering what happened after, I think they really missed out on something huge when that fucked up. Yes. And we'll get to that because now we're going to get to main roster shit. We're going to talk about the changes that Triple H made. The positives, the negatives, which there's not many negatives, but there's a couple.
There's been some mishaps, but not many.
Yeah.
So
it's division. That's what it is. Division.
Yes. All right. So let's talk about Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
So over here on Monday nights, when Vince was still in charge, they were talking about stopping the brand split.
Mm-hmm.
You're only going to have like 35 wrestlers wrestle both shows.
Yeah.
Thank you. 35 wrestlers both shows. Do this, that, and the other. Since Vince is gone, I know talks are we're going to split the heavyweight championships up again because with bringing back certain people, they cannot be infused with Roman Reigns. Let's just put this out there.
Yeah.
These guys they're bringing back do not make sense to feud with Roman Reigns because they've already been shown to be lesser than Roman Reigns because of the prior regime.
Yes. Well, I will say with the exception of one, which this single person just came back on Monday. And you know, me and you are excited to see this feud continue for another 4 months with this man saying, quote, unquote, I'm not finished with you, and ramming his student to the electric box.
So
okay.
Let's start with Vaughn. So it was a little botch, his return. They fucked it up a little bit.
Only Chad Gable fucked it up, though.
No, I'm talking about just having him do it in a tag team thing.
Oh, yeah, that whole thing, yeah.
That shouldn't have happened. Yeah. They should have had Braun come out like... Here, you know I would love to have seen Braun come back as?
What?
As a heel. The reason is Miz climbing out the cage. She's Dexter Lumis down there. Mm-hmm. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley escapes the cage, wins the title, and Braun takes Bobby Lashley out. Then you get Bobby Lashley versus Braun.
That would have been cool.
Because it seems like Omos is gone.
Well, so apparently Omos and the whole one plan for Strowman is Strowman and Omos to be beefing. And that seems to be a long-term plan as opposed to a short-term plan. At least that's what the dirt sheets are writing anyway.
And all that's going to be is Andre versus Big John Studd is going to go for like 5 years and nobody will care anymore.
Well, good. I mean, because as long as Strowman's winning every match, fuck it. It is what it is. I like Omos. I just don't like him as a wrestler. Have you seen interviews with Omos?
Hmm. He's a very good talker.
Dude, I love that dude. Like, he's the type of person that me and you would love fucking hanging out with. You know what I'm saying? Playing video games, talking comic books, shooting the shit. You know what I'm saying? Probably even go to the gym and do some reps and shit. You know what I'm saying? Talk shit about people and have a good fucking time. I love Omos, the human being. The wrestler, I feel that something must have happened where they're no longer training him. This is where you needed like a Big Show. They have kept Big Show on the roster and paid this man to train big dudes. I know Undertaker is that dude, right? But the Undertaker got to live his life, all right? The Undertaker's got
a baby like 2 years ago. So.
That's what I'm saying. Undertaker is trying to enjoy retired life. Big Show at least wants to come and work for somebody. That's why I would have been like, dude, all right, Big Show, let me pay you $2 million a year. I got all these big motherfuckers. I got a nigga named Von Wagner. I got a nigga named Omos. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple other big niggas on the pipeline, on the payroll. Yada I'm saying? And I want you to train them all. Make a big man school, okay? Have them like pick up tree trunks and fucking drag them 50 feet like Brock Lesnar or some shit.
You know what my idea would be with those two?
What?
Have them fuse for about 6 to 8 months. Okay. Then bring them back as a throwback tag team like the Twin Towers.
Oh, that would have been nice. See, that would have worked. But now you have, Braun Strowman's showing up on SmackDown. You know what that means.
Braun is going on SmackDown. He's going to be a face.
Yeah.
They already announced that he's going to be face. So.
You already know.
But my issue is you already had Roman Reigns beat this motherfucker's ass for a year before you fired him. And now you're going to bring him back and put him right back in the ring with the man who whooped his ass?
So
this Roman is even better than the one that was whooping his ass?
So I would like to say, and I really need to get this out there. I need this to be said. Okay. The presentation for Braun Strowman after Roman Reigns came back was pure and absolute fucking dog shit. And the same thing when it came to Bray Wyatt. The booking and the way that they built that shit was absolute fucking dog shit.
What made me mad when they fired Braun Strowman? He had just come off the best match of his fucking career against Lashley and McIntyre.
Thank you. And that's what trips me out. Like, we were here. We finally got to a place where I think he clicked and we got it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So and sometimes it takes longer than other, but he was performing like a main event talent. and then you kicked them all the way fucking down out of the fucking building. That didn't make no damn sense. But that's what I'm saying. It goes back to Braun Strowman was having bangers. And it was weird for me to try and say these words. Braun Strowman was having bangers before he left. And you still kicked, and you presented him like dog shit, and then you kicked him out the fucking building.
My man did a running cannonball off the side of the ring to Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
Braun Strowman is 6'10".
I just don't get it. I don't get it. But that's part of this whole shit with this 2.0 and all this shit. Cody Rhodes making this man go against Seth Rollins 3 times, which I don't think you could have really avoided the pectoral shit. But it should have been it, and it should have been on the bigger and better things. You know what I'm saying? And
so let's talk about Cody real quick, because this conversation is going to come up again later on in the show.
Yeah,
because
we got the AEW shit to talk about, and I think that's going to.
Brandy Rhodes tweeted today that she's like, "We told you."
Yeah,
she tweeted that shit out today.
Yeah,
and Cody started wanting to leave AEW when the rumors about signing CM Punk started.
Yeah, but also, and not just that though either, because remember the rumors that came out from the Meltzer side, and I need this to be a key thing because there's a lot of shit coming from Dave Meltzer. You know, the guy that's all chummy with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. You know, because that has to be said. So whenever you see Dave Meltzer say some shit about this whole thing, remember. He's got their penises in their mouth. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah. I ain't saying. One of their finishes is called the Meltzer Driver.
Thank you. So, according to Dave Meltzer at the time, there was a lot of rumors about the fact that Cody had alienated himself from the other EVPs. Okay? Mm-hmm. So now this is all starting to make sense. Okay? So, Cody was happy about the fact that Cody was happy about the fact that CM Punk was there, as far as because it showed that it was a next level thing, okay? And I honestly think that if Cody Rhodes and CM Punk would have had a banger match, that would have probably prevented any kind of injuries, because for the most part they're very safe workers, very old school safe workers.
Cody hurt himself working out.
In essence, he hurt himself working out, but as far as working. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have CM Punk would have not had to do half the shit that he did had he been able to wrestle regular ass matches that CM Punk knows how to wrestle. I'm gonna say that with the biggest part of my chest, and that's where because the 2 injuries that he had, where he tried to do the flip over the top into a clothesline, popped his foot, fucked it up, and now with the shit that happened, we'll get to that in a second. But the rumors were that. It was a bunch of problems with the EVPs, with the guys that he started the company with. If you have problems with the guys that you started the company with, and you can't get past that, no matter Tony Khan could have offered this nigga, you know what I'm saying, the goddamn fucking Starship Enterprise, the goddamn fucking what is it, the Death Star. He could have offered this nigga the first Lambo of 2024 or some shit. He could have gave this nigga season tickets to his favorite football, basketball, soccer team. It would, you know what I'm saying, in front row, and it wouldn't even matter. At some point, if you beefing with cats on both sides, and let's even say if he had beef with CM Punk too, that's worse. Because now you're beefing with your other EVPs, and now you got beef with CM Punk. Fuck, now I'm on the outside looking in. Because now you view this man as the draw. Now you're only going to take the sides of the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. At some point, Cody probably thought that these two personalities were not going to get along, and I'm not going to be a part of this. Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom. And
he made the smarter move with his decision going back to WWE.
Yeah, he probably seen it. I'm telling you, he probably saw it. If he really felt that him and CM Punk were going to get along, okay. But he also know that him and the Young Bucks were volatile.
Especially Omega and Nick Jackson.
Especially Omega.
And Nick Jackson.
Especially them. So Cody made the move that was best for him, and he moved to WWE. And he probably signed for less than Tony Khan was going to pay him, for a lot less years than Tony Khan was going to give him. However, he has full creative control of his character. He's Cody Rhodes.
Thank you, Triple H.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's the one that told Vince Don't change a goddamn thing.
Nope.
Keep him the way he fucking is. Why would you change him?
It's got to be indie AEW Cody Rhodes. It cannot be any other form of Cody Rhodes.
Nigga, you want to talk about best bout machines? I would be willing to say Cody Rhodes is that dude. Everybody wants to talk about Kenny Omega. Cody Rhodes is that dude. But now he's injured. But 6 to 8 months, and that was 6 to 8 months when now we got Royal Rumble. Oh, that leaves Royal Rumble on the table, and that leaves a potential World Heavyweight title match with Roman Reigns,
which at WrestleMania, which needs to happen.
Yes,
but I don't think it's going to be this year because I think they're still booking The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
So I thought about this. Okay, I really honestly thought about this. And I thought about a scenario where this can possibly happen. And I actually think I've come up with the solution. Okay. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
Since WrestleMania is already going to be 2 nights, because they've already announced it again. And Dallas is going to be, was it Dallas? No, not Dallas. Is it LA this time?
LA, it's Hollywood. That's why they're trying to get The Rock.
Yeah, so 2 nights. If Roman Reigns is still the champion or has both belts, or even just 1 belt at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can go on the night 1, lose the belt to Cody Rhodes, and then close out night 2 against The Rock. That is very much, and even if, let's say, and you can even make it so that Cody Rhodes, that Roman Reigns wins both of them, but that would suck because that would ruin the comeback arc of Cody Rhodes. I wouldn't want to do that.
How about this idea? I know they want Karrion Kross McIntyre for the SmackDown title. That's what they're gunning for.
Yeah.
How about this idea? Have Roman Reigns stay double champion until WrestleMania. At WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Night 1. That's where you split the titles.
Mm-hmm.
Defends it. Loses night 1 to McIntyre.
Yeah.
Night 2, first match of the night, drops it to Cody. Okay?
Yeah.
You take both belts off him at that point. Have The Rock controlling but also talking shit because he's The Rock.
Yeah.
The main event is then set, The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Because you know Roman could go 3 matches.
I know he can. Especially
because WrestleMania is 4 hours on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
If he wrestles the last match on Saturday, first match on Sunday, he can wrestle the main event on Sunday.
See, people don't remember. I always tell people The Rock used to go 2 nights back to back every fucking week when they filmed SmackDown on Tuesdays and showed it on Thursdays. They went back to back. Okay, so it's not unfound that this can actually happen. That's why I'm thinking that at one point you have to give Cody Rhodes a signature win. The reason why you brought him here, because the story arc.
Your niece is a biscuit biter.
She's a biscuit biter. Oh my
yes.
Lord. You have to give Cody Rhodes his defining moment at WrestleMania. Yeah, it's almost like they. Oh, go ahead. It's almost like they should have gave Drew McIntyre his defining moment at Clash of the Castle, but we'll just have you lose and sing with Tyson Fury as penance.
Let me just talk about that main event at Clash of the Castle.
Mm-hmm.
You fired Karrion Kross because budget cuts.
Mm-hmm.
You flew him all the way to Cardiff just to throw a bottle at Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, that's right.
And you really fired this man for budget cuts?
No, they fired him because he complained about where he was. Okay, that's what it was.
Because Vince McMahon tried to make him into a sex worker.
I told you, Vince McMahon has some. He tried to turn him into Axe and Smash of Demolition. That's what the shit was.
The fucking BDSM gear and shit.
He's like, how about we make him look like Smash? Do we still have some gear from the 80s?
And then get mad and fire his wife because she popped the fucking implant.
Yeah, popped the titty during tryouts.
Oh, we're not going to have Scarlett and Karrion together. Scarlett's going to be on the other show. It doesn't work like that, Vince.
No, it's mighty hilarious when you pop a titty. Now we have 2 people that have popped a titty while training. Cody Rhodes and Scarlett.
Remember when Nikki Bella blew a titty?
Oh yes.
And Gail Kim. So yeah,
You
just titty
pop
popping
that
everywhere.
titty.
All right, so let's talk about these NXT guys who got fired and are now back. Dexter Lumis. Gargano didn't get fired. He let his contract expire because he just had a baby. But Gargano is back. Are you surprised they're still pushing Austin Theory?
No, because Triple H liked Austin Theory in a way. Well, in the way, not a way, the way. He likes him. I think that they're blurring the lines between work and shoot now, right? With Austin Theory. And I'll explain what I mean. Over the last few weeks, they've been blurring the lines of work and shoot in WWE. With the Seth Rollins Matt Riddle shit, which was
that
ether
shit
at
was
its
perfect.
finest.
When he's like, Matt, you still there? Yeah. No, what you want to talk about? My family? What about your family? Oh wait, you don't have one because your wife last year took the kids, you little bitch. I was like,
well, yeah.
And then after that, you have Seth Rollins beat Matt Riddle at fucking Clash of the Castle.
Hey, that match was a banger though.
With a fucked up ass second rope curve stomp.
That match was a banger though.
No, those two do good business together.
You know what it is though? Listen, but that storyline arc was the same storyline arc, not as far as like the insults and shit, but that's Matt Riddle's thing. Okay. Matt Riddle is, once the aggression comes out, he fucks up somehow. Because remember what happened in the fucking the match against Thatcher in the fucking cage? Where he fucking snapped and then fucked up and then fucking Thatcher got his ass.
I hope they bring Timothy Thatcher back. I want them to bring Timothy Thatcher back.
They get Thatcher catch style. Woo. He's banging on the indies right now though too.
Yeah, no.
And apparently
him and Oni Lorcan have been having a good feud in the indies.
Yeah, and apparently Impact and AEW are bidding for that because there's an ROH thing, and I don't think I have time to really go over it. But know that there's something special coming with ROH, and it has to do with one of the WB's channels that they have on WD Discovery channels that they have, and they're going to try and make something work. Which is probably why
TK finally got him a fucking TV deal.
Yeah. It's a channel that they have, and they're going to try and make it work. They'll make it work. I think what it is that right now they're budget cutting before they add content. Yeah. That's what Discovery's doing, because this merger was huge. I mean, a lot bigger than everybody really thinks. But we'll go. That's another story. I don't have time to go over that. But the fact of the matter is this: we have Triple H's vision of what Raw should be, which is really good storytelling and really good fucking banger matches.
So, I have one question for you.
Yeah.
I know we both said we loved the Dexter Lumis thing under the fucking mat when the Miz was coming out.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on Dexter Lumis's return and his goodbye to Indy Hartwell on NXT?
Well, it was a goodbye for now, right? It wasn't a goodbye. Yeah. It was a goodbye. It's a goodbye for now. I honestly think that Indy's going to be on her way to so with the Indy Hartwell arc, it's really only going to go one of two ways. Okay, either she's going to become NXT Women's Champion, or she's going to go to the main roster. There's not really that's the only two options that are on the table at this point.
Because she is a great wrestler.
Well, you've seen that promo she cut right before Dexter Lumis came out, and she's like, "I'm spinning my wheels, and I'm not sure what I'm doing." And shit like that. And then once that kiss from Dexter Lumis came and they saw each other, I think the vision finally came. And I think that Triple H and Shawn are going to rebuild her into basically the Mandy killer. And that's because I've been thinking about that ever since you said Dexter Lumis. That's going to be the only way. It's either going to build her up into a Mandy killer, or as this settles in, and maybe who knows, Maurice comes back and starts wrestling again. Because she's been doing
Dexter
slowly.
In India against Miz and Maurice?
Yes.
Or Miz and Mandy against Dexter and Indy.
Either or. I think that Miz and Maurice need a signature win because they don't have one.
I don't think they do. Because Maurice is still not a good wrestler.
Shh. Don't tell her that, okay?
So, what do you think the ceiling is for Dexter Lumis? Because with these gimmicky characters like this, there's always that ceiling that they can't surpass or WWE fucks them up, i.e. the Fiend.
That depends on where it takes them after the Miz. That's really what it comes down to. I think that Dexter Lumis will always have entertaining spots, But the way they booked him the shit in NXT 2.0 before ceremoniously booting him out of there was not good for him. They're gonna have to rebuild Dexter Lumis like as a wrestling machine. Like that's where the problem is.
Because I was surprised at the pop he got when he pulled the hood off the first time he showed up.
Yeah.
Because nobody knew who the fuck it was. Because TV didn't even show his face until security finally pulled the hood, and that pop he got was something else. But
Triple H knows how to present people though.
That's another thing they dropped really quick was AJ Styles.
Oh yeah.
But AJ was feuding with the Miz at the time.
Yeah.
So
but AJ Styles needs a break, dude. AJ Styles,
he needs to go be with his family for a while and chill.
Yeah, like he has been like even when they needed him to take the time off, they had to bring him back because Cody Rhodes got hurt. Okay, and you know what I'm saying, he's supposed to take time off, and Cody Rhodes got hurt.
Let's jump to the future real quick. That's the same thing that's going on with Jon Moxley right now.
Yeah,
he said it on AEW. I'm supposed to be on vacation, but somebody fucked up, and I'm pissed off.
Yeah. Which I will say this, because when we get into that, there's a lot that has to go on with that. Like we got a lot to talk about with that one. But I will say the People's Champ and
who else made their debuts on Raw and SmackDown recently?
Shit.
I think that's about it right now.
Yeah,
Gargano steps back into the ring on Monday.
Yeah.
Ciampa, I love what he's doing with the Miz right now. And the fact that he's not doing scripted promos is the best.
So how do you feel about the Edge, Rey Mysterio, Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley, fucking Dominic Mysterio?
I made a man out of your son. Come here, girl. Come make a man out of me, girl. Come here.
I started singing, you know I'll make a man out of you.
I think they pulled the trigger at the right time. The reason I say this is because Edge was so fucking over in Cardiff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Rey Mysterio was jealous of Edge's entrance.
Yeah.
Because when you got 70,000 English fans screaming Metalingus at the top of their lungs, there's nothing like it.
Yes.
I don't like Edge's look or what he's going for right now. I was like, it's kind of corny. I wish he would have came back with if he was going to go brood, he should have did what he did against the Miz. Seth Rollins, I mean. Come back with the brood and then Metalingus right after.
Yeah. Well, it's all the whole thing fucked up because Edge was still supposed to be a heel. Okay, he was supposed to be a heel,
but he didn't want to go. They wanted to take the Judgment Day into a supernatural thing, and he didn't want to do that.
And it's fucked up because then he has to fake being injured. Vince gets left, and we don't get supernatural, but we get this fucked up shit that's happened to Dominic Mysterio. Shit. Oh, such a beautiful work.
You know what else you get out of this?
What?
Finn Balor showing he has a fucking personality.
Yes. Very much.
Which I think is the biggest fucking thing. Because he has been so fucking bland since being on the main roster both times. It's no wonder that Vince just kept shafting him.
It's fucked up because it's like Triple H gave him a personality, right? You know what I'm saying? When they brought him back into NXT, they showed what the fuck, what the rock and roller it was.
Evil Prince Balor.
Yeah. And then Vince fucked it up again. Yeah, he needed to go. Vince really needed to go.
Vince is like, oh, hey, Finn, I see you're getting over. You're going to be a face again. You're going to do fish flops on the floor while Roman Reigns beats you.
No. Well, why'd you do this? Why Vince? Why? Told you once that sacrilege happened, definitely Vince needed to go.
The Demon has never beaten a Samoan. He lost to Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns.
Oh, that's his weakness. That's what the weakness.
Like Brock Lesnar and Mexicans.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God.
And if anybody doesn't know what that means, go back and look who Brock Lesnar has lost to the most.
So I thought about something interesting though.
Well,
I'm upset because like we never got to pay off for the Jey Uso shit. The Jey Uso main event Jey Uso. We never got to pay off for that. He just basically became Roman Reigns' underling.
Well,
and I guess
the payoff for that was Roman choking out and fucking up Jimmy Uso to the point where Jey was like, okay, I'm good. That was the payoff.
It's fucked up, man.
But think about it. The Usos have been better than they have been in the last 5 years right now.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for Sami Zayn because Jey Uso is going to tear that man's head off.
Well, man, we got a plethora of things because then now we got the whole Big E situation. And I felt like they downgraded Big E.
Has he been cleared to wrestle yet?
No, he's been cleared to be alive and function.
Because I saw him on Up, Down, Down without the neck brace on.
Yeah.
And he was sitting very uncomfortably.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be a long process. It's going to be
at least a year before they can, a year from May or June before they can assess if he's going to wrestle again. So we're not even, no Royal Rumble, no WrestleMania. We're going to have to run this back a year later. And it pisses me off because he should have been the main event. He should have been in the main event. And it was because they had to call another audible that he ended up losing the belt. And it fucking sucks, man. Like, it really does. But what can you do? Like, I get the whole Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. I'm like, dude, part of me also been thinking that Vince McMahon be having dementia. I'm like, how many times we're going to run this shit back?
But at least the last match was very entertaining.
Well, yes, because the WrestleMania match where Roman Reigns got injured and still hiding the injury, I don't care what anybody says. Yeah. He's been hiding this in the shoulder injury. He popped it out of his fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? No, listen.
Which, if you notice, during that match, Brock Lesnar grabs him by the back of the neck and asks him if he's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad camera positioning.
Yeah. So now we're at a point where SmackDown has gotten. SmackDown was not interesting until Gunther became the Intercontinental champion because we had Roman Reigns, and then now he went part-time. Yep. And now they
have so he can nurse his injuries.
Yep. And so now Triple H took over. Now the Intercontinental Championship has become the thing now.
So I really do hope they keep the full entirety of Imperium together on the main roster.
Yeah.
I know Giovanni was doing his thing on NXT.
Yeah, but he's not going to be. He's not a main roster dude now.
So if they keep Imperium together, I want Survivor Series. The Bloodline with Solo Sikoa against Imperium and Sami Zayn. That's what I want at fucking Survivor Series.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Because you know the whole Sami situation is going to come crashing down real soon.
Yeah. No,
especially with Solo being brought in.
Yeah, but that's what makes you wonder though. Yeah, if you're going to do Solo, so it really depends. Are you going to do, if you do the whole Bloodline with Roman, in the Usos and Solo and Sammy, if you do Imperium, but then you know what you could do. Then you could pair them up with fucking Sheamus. You could bring either Sheamus and Ridge or Sheamus and fucking
Sheamus and Pete Dunne. Sheamus and Pete Dunne.
Yeah. Because listen, Sheamus showed in that match with Gunther that no matter what you fucking think about him, and yes, he may be on the tail end of his career, he still can.
That dude can fucking go. I don't give a shit. Okay, so when Sheamus first beat John Cena, I was one of the ones like, Sheamus has such a bright future. And people were like, no, he doesn't. He's garbage. He's this, he's that. Let me tell you something. Sheamus O'Shaughnessy is a ass-kicking fucking machine. Mm-hmm. And if you want to see what this dude is about, go to his Celtic Warrior Workout YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And watch him do other wrestlers' workouts without ever seeing them before.
Yeah.
Like Daniel Bryan damn near killed this man.
Yeah. Yeah. And dude was dripping sweat like a motherfucker, but this still did it. Fucking did it.
Sheamus is now, 15 years into his fucking career in WWE?
Well, yeah.
And still doesn't get the respect that he deserves?
Well, actually, 17 years. 17. Probably even longer because if you count FCW. So, yeah.
It still doesn't get the respect that he deserves?
Yeah.
Yes, everybody knows when Sheamus is coming out, somebody's getting their ass whooped.
Yeah.
Face, heel, mid-card, main event, somebody's getting beat up. And what him and Walter did in Curtis Wales, Eddie Kingston and Ishii tried to match, and I think Ishii blew a peck.
He popped a titty.
Well, you saw it. It was like turning purple and black and shit.
Yeah.
But that I want my dream match out to seeing that is Eddie Kingston versus Ishii versus Gunther versus Sheamus. That is my dream match right now. who can slap who the hardest.
Could you imagine the Mexican standoff of fucking chops and shit? That would be fucking brutal as fuck.
So storytelling between the Brawlers and Imperium started on SmackDown. It was just the one dude with Gunther.
Yeah.
Where Gunther and Sheamus staring at each other. Homeboys taking out both Ridge Holland and fucking Butch.
Yeah.
Kaiser. He took out both of them motherfuckers.
Putting in work. I was like, damn, nigga, Kaiser.
And then Gunther and Sheamus just sitting there looking at each other, not even looking at their boys fighting.
You know what I'm saying?
Then in Cardiff, you get all of Imperium battling him. And I'm like, Giovanni doesn't need to be there. Von Kaiser handled both these fools by himself.
I was there. Putting in work. Kaiser putting in work. That's the nigga that you need to bring to a fight with you. Shit. You ain't got to worry about niggas jumping you. Kaiser got you, boy.
I really hope they eventually will build the Bloodline versus Imperium, because that's the one feud I want to see.
Yeah.
Because Kaiser and Giovanni are a great tag team.
Yeah.
Them against Usos, that's going to be fucking magic. If you want to see Imperium work, go check out their work against MSK. Go check it out against fucking all these teams they beat up during their time in NXT UK and NXT.
Yeah.
Because they are fucking brilliant.
Oh my God. This
And now you got Karrion Kross and McIntyre.
Yeah.
Which I think they need to move to Raw. Get them both away from Roman.
Yeah.
I
honestly think that needs to happen. That really needs to happen in and of itself. I understand. See, this is the problem when you have one man hold both belts. They now have run into the problem of now that you've established this man as a god, basically.
Yeah,
how are you going to get the belts off of him in such a way? But the only thing that they were doing is establishing Cody Rhodes as a god, because he beat Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell with one titty.
Fucking titty.
That's it. He's going to be the god killer. And if he doesn't, I'm going to be mad, because I'm like, there's really nobody else that Roman Reigns could lose to.
No, because you can put him with Karrion. Karrion can give Roman problems because Karrion's the mat wrestler.
Yeah.
And Roman struggles with mat wrestlers. We know this.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen. He's going to cheat to win.
Right now, you got Seth Rollins and Riddle as the only legitimate contenders who, yes, Roman beat Seth last year, but that was a different Seth Rollins. That ain't the Seth Rollins that we have now.
The visionary.
The dude came out in an Elton John outfit at Clash at the Castle. And the crowd sang his song almost the whole time that him and Riddle were having a bagger.
I'm telling you.
And Matt Riddle, because we do not know if Randy Orton is actually coming back. His injury is really bad for him.
His back, yeah, man.
And Orton, and that's what happens when you carry a company for 20 years. And let's be honest here, Randy Orton has carried this company for 20 years. I don't give a figure. It was him, Cena, and Edge for the longest.
Dude, I'm sad because like Randy Orton, dude.
We have the best Randy Orton right now. Being the mentor to Riddle.
If this was his last hurrah, it was probably one of the RK Bro stuff was probably some of the best stuff of his career.
And unfortunately, they had to sacrifice Bray Wyatt for him to get there.
Yeah.
So my vision for Bray Wyatt, and I know he's been in talks with WWE.
Yeah.
And Triple H, from what I've seen from Sean Ross, was Triple H agreed to take the trademark off of the Fiend name and give it to Bray. Yeah. Give him ownership over the Fiend since it is his creation.
Yeah.
I think that might entice him to come back.
I think it will. But I also, and I said this to somebody, and I said, Triple H was the only person that saw the vision.
Yep. You know, believed in him. He believed in him.
Yeah, but he would take Bray Wyatt's ideas, right, and kind of like make it like a funnel instead. Because it was told that Bray Wyatt always had these ideas for his character. I think it was in the Triple H interview. He had so many ideas. He had this, and this.
He said, what he called him the greatest mastermind in wrestling.
Yeah, and he said that what I would do is I would take all those ideas and then I would funnel them and make it in such a way where
Vince would be happy.
Yeah, Vince would understand what we're trying to do. When he didn't understand initially, he didn't understand the John Cena.
I know Triple H and Bray Wyatt wrote that whole match.
Oh yeah.
The only reason Vince went with it is because Cena said he likes it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason Vince went with it.
Easily. Hey, come on now.
That's some good shit. The puppet Vince.
That's some good shit, pal.
So if Bray Wyatt does come back, the first thing I need them to do is close the book with the Alexa Bliss shit.
Yeah.
This is a gigantic hole. For some reason, you still have Lily with Alexa Bliss, even though Alexa Bliss is going back to her normal shit that she was doing, which is better for her. I loved her as Creepy Bliss. I really did.
Yeah.
But you ruined Bray Wyatt.
I think you'll probably see something where Alexa Bliss was like, if I need to get back to where I need to go, I need to let this go. And then she'll probably leave the doll, and then you'll probably see the hand of the Fiend grab the doll and bring it back. And that's how you'll know.
Perfect. And
that's how you'll know.
That'll close that chapter. Because that is the only, if you think about it, that is the, besides the Hell in a Cell match for Seth Rollins, that was more of a black mark for WWE, not the Fiend.
Well, let me rephrase that, because that also includes the Randy Orton shit.
And the Goldberg shit.
The Goldberg shit. And it just didn't make any sense. But because Vince didn't know what the fuck we wanted to do. But that's what it was. So I overall am excited for this new Triple H era. The storytelling is there. The problem is that he's having to fix what Vince fucked up while trying to rebuild the shit.
It's gonna take time.
Yeah, and that's what the problem is right now, because like people know fucking Imperium as Walter, fucking Barthel, and you know what I'm saying, whatever.
I like the Giovanni name. I like
Giovanni Vinci. I said Vinci, Kaiser, fucking Gunther. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I'm here for it. Only thing I wish they would have came back when they're a unit. I wish they would have came back with the fucking.
I think they will after when they announce that they're actually back together.
Yeah,
I think they will.
That's my thing. I love Walter's solo music. Like I love when Walter comes out by himself. His music is a fucking banger. I just want when it's in fucking Imperium, when the word Imperium's on the fucking Titantron,
and they're all standing there with their hands behind their back.
Yeah, exactly. They're all out. Yes,
looking all proper and shit. So let's talk about Walter / Gunther here. His first run on the main roster, he got buried by Vince.
Of course.
Because Vince called him fat and unentertaining.
Yeah, Vince did it on purpose.
Walter dropped 75 pounds and became a monster.
Yeah. Well, you think about this, though. The first run, which was the one when during the NXT invasion, whatever. Yeah, buried the shit out of him. Okay. Then, that's it. Oddly enough, you can say that Walter had 2 Hall of Fame NXT UK careers, because the first run before they did the invasion, he was dominating everything, and then after that bullshit that Vince pulled, his second run was even more fucked up because he was literally slaying dragons in fucking NXT UK up until he ran their Ilya Dragunov. And finally
in that first match with Ilya Dragunov, where he beat the piss out of Ilya Dragunov.
There's a fucking name.
Holy shit. My man.
Oh man.
I hope the WWE brings Ilya Dragunov back after his injury. It was very bad timing for his injury, especially with NXT UK closing.
They will.
But so my favorite, and we should have talked about it earlier, my favorite thing about the Worlds Collide show was the build up the week before when Gunther told Tyler Bate, bring the Tyler Bate that fought me for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All that build up for all that shit was great.
Yep.
Now, I see great with how they're presenting Gunther. Now, I see great things for him over the next coming years in the WWE.
Which, I honestly think that the only person that's going to beat Gunther for that title, that IC title, is probably fucking Ilya Dragunov. I think the Intercontinental title right now, hear me out. As it stands right now, that performance that Gunther had against Sheamus, in and of itself, was not only a masterclass of a fucking match. To me, it was a shot across the bow that this is the level that you're going to have to compete at, because it was very much a UK style match, and I fucking loved every minute of it.
It was British strong style to its best.
Fucking, that probably got William Regal's dick hard, and he probably barely even watched the match. It's just,
all you heard was smack, 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 smack.
So At this point,
finish opposition for you on that one.
So there's not a lot of people in there right now. Like they will literally have to bring a few cats over from NXT UK. Probably Tyler Bate after he does this little bit of run in NXT, because I don't think he's going to be in there for long, because he's way past what he needs to be in NXT. And the only reason that you'd even have him there is probably to beat Braun Breaker, but I don't even think that you'd even do that.
No, I don't think you could put him over Braun Breaker. I think you make him and Braun Breaker, just like a team like they're doing right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's either going to be that. I mean, so the only other candidate I would have, or at least not even say candidate, because a match. I want to see another done fucking Gunther match. Give me that, even if it's just an undercard match. But I'm telling you, as far as people that have successfully pinned 1, 2, 3 for Walter or Gunther, it's only been 2 people. Really, it's only been 2 people, which is Braun Breaker and fucking Ilya Dragunov.
Well, Ilya Dragunov choked him out. He didn't pin him. He choked him out.
He choked him out. But you see what I'm saying? Like there's only so many people.
Okay, there's a man who I think is actually going to beat him for the Intercontinental title, and it will finally give him the Grand Slam in the WWE, and that is the rematch from Clash at the Castle, Sheamus, because that's the only belt he has never held.
That's true.
And but can see you won't hurt Gunther by putting Sheamus over him.
You won't,
because Gunther can go on to bigger, better things, saying, you had a Warriors battle with Sheamus, but now Gunther wants to challenge a god.
You gonna have him go against Roman Reigns?
Oh, I want him to chop the shit out of Roman Reigns.
Listen, you
win, lose, or draw. I just want him to black and blue fucking Roman Reigns' chest.
All right, fuck it. It is what it is. You have Gunther beat Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble for one of the belts,
and have Imperium beat the Usos for one set of the tag team titles.
Exactly.
The Imperium has the belts.
Oh my God, no! Because then you're really gonna have to summon Ilya Dragunov for that one. At that point,
that's perfect for that big return at the next Royal Rumble. And here's how to do it: Vince will get his jollies by fucking over Big E because he'll come back, and then Dragunov will come back right after and eliminate Big E and win the fucking Royal Rumble. Take on Walter and fucking WrestleMania.
Fucked up. Yeah, now you gotta literally summon that nigga. You gotta bring back Paul Bearer in the urn, and motherfucking Ilya Dragunov is gonna pop out of a smoky ambulance like Dean Ambrose did that one time. Nigga, that's what that shit's gonna be like.
All right, so that's WWE.
Yeah, that's all WWE. We gotta clear that one out.
Well, Solo Sikoa, up or down?
Up, easily. I'm here for it. I just need to see where this goes this Friday.
Unfortunately, I think it's gonna be him taking out Sami Zayn. I think that's what it's gonna be.
Yes, we have to get rid of the one thing that's holding us back. And when you do that, you're going to summon a wild Kevin Owens, and now you have your main event from fucking...
Oh, shit, we forgot about that, man. Hold on. We got the prize fighter back, bitch, and he is fucking people up.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. You know what? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they put him against fucking Roman Reigns to win the title.
On Raw? Yeah.
On Raw? I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, we all know Triple H supports Kevin Owens.
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Time for the meat and potatoes of the show, where we talk about all elite wrestling.
Yes, and this has been a wild ride. We are now 3 years now. We're coming on a 3-year anniversary.
The first year was perfect. First year was about
as perfect as you can ask for a startup wrestling company on national television. Now, was it the second year, which was 2021, when they finally went back to the live crowds again?
And what hurt them is Brody Lee passing away.
Yeah.
Because they had so much stock in Brody and the Dark Order. Now the Dark Order only has 4 members.
Yeah.
And 10 is hurt.
We had a lot of injuries, though. Like this, a lot of injuries, a lot of killed momentum. But the year peaked out, the end of year 2 and the start of year 3 really peaked at CM Punk and his debut.
So we talked about CM Punk earlier in his foot.
Yeah.
His dumbass, he broke his foot when he jumped into the crowd and then tried to do the springboard.
Well, I think he hurt his foot jumping into the crowd. I think he broke his foot.
Actually, in the interview, he said he broke it jumping into the crowd. He didn't feel his foot the whole match. And then when he tried to springboard, that's when he knew it was gone.
So
stop jumping into the crowd, dickhead.
listen, he was happy to be there, okay? Which is the whole problem to begin with. So we had year 2 capped off, ended and capped off the start of year 3 with the debut of CM Punk, and now we're in year 3. We've had a lot of highs with CM Punk. We had
and we've had a lot of highs, but also all hell has broken loose.
So we had 3 out of 4, 3 of the pay-per-views this year, especially the ones with the 3 that CM Punk have been on, have been major draws, $1 million houses.
He made the first $1 million for AEW tonight.
Yep. And so you got those $1 million houses. You have the rise of the Blackpool Combat Club, Daniel Bryan and fucking Bryan Danielson and John Moxley forming a squad
with Claudio. First adding Wheeler Yuta.
Yes.
Who is a monster. Who is a monster.
Monster. Properly established Wheeler Yuta as a monster. Then because of an injury, brings in Claudio Castagnoli.
Who almost jobbed Will Ospreay out. Not Will Ospreay. Was it Will Ospreay? No, Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr.
He almost beat Zack Sabre Jr. in 30 seconds.
Yeah. That was vicious. I'm like, damn, really?
That one uppercut?
Fuck. I'm like, this is looking like fucking Sami Zayn versus fucking Cesaro. Shit.
I was just like, this motherfucker was laughing at Zack Sabre Jr. and just stalking him the whole fucking match.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, Jesus, man. All right, so then we had that, and of course, so because now we had what the fuck is this shit called? It was the Forbidden Door, which CM Punk couldn't have been a part of because of the injury. But Forbidden Door made up for that because we had a lot of matches.
We had Tanahashi versus Moxley, which Japan never gave us.
Fucking.
We had, that was a good show because you had Shogun with Lance Archer in that match.
Yep.
That was just a good fucking show.
It was. From the Rooter to the Tutor, it was a great show. Then we had All Out. Well, so we phrased that. We had
the crown of interim champion, which they gave it to John Moxley.
Yeah.
And in 2 months, John Moxley defended the title 12 times.
Yeah. Yeah. See, John Moxley, to me, it's like Diamond Dallas Page at this point. He can't do no wrong.
He carries the company on his back. He
carries the company on his back. If you need him to do something, he will fucking do it. And the people will walk through fucking hellfire and brimstone for that man because he will do the same for you if you let him. And if he trusts you and believes in you.
And so we got CM Punk Mox in Cleveland.
Yes.
Where some bad things have happened to CM Punk in Cleveland a few times.
Yeah.
Mox just dumped on this motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the agreement that Mox is going to drop the title back to him in Chicago.
Which I think the whole reason why I think that was is because I think they felt what's the word I'm looking for? I think what I feel what happens is this whole interim shit. I think Tony and CM Punk really wanted to do this man the favor that they did him and was like, you were interim, but you defended this motherfucker like it was
12 times. 12 times in a 2-month period.
So I think that we need them to do the right thing at this point and make it so that you are, you're the actual champion, even if it's going to be for 2 weeks.
Let's think about this. John Moxley, his career in AEW, first and foremost.
Yeah.
What happened in Chicago was the first time in his 3 years in AEW that he got beat clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
First time. Which is a shame given what happened afterwards.
Yes.
But because there's things that happened that ruined what should have been major moments at the pay-per-view.
Well, yeah. Which is all, but you know what? This is why I've been preaching about the shit that happened. Like, I've been preaching about what really should have gone down in this pay-per-view. Okay. The way that it started with the Casino Royale ladder match, right? The way that it started was perfect. Okay.
Well, with the exception of Roosh not knowing the rules of the match and just taking his sweet ass time, where Wheeler Yuta was very slowly climbing a ladder because Roosh was supposed to knock him off of it, but Roosh was up on the damn thing dancing around and shit.
Let's not roosh into things, okay? Let's not roosh into things. All right.
How's your name Roosh? Were you walking like motherfucking broken down ass fucking
walking like 98K, nigga? No. I'll get to the ring eventually.
Right. So we're gonna talk a lot about All Out. So the Casino Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Is this the formation of a new pinnacle?
Well, not even though. I honestly think that there was a money man. This was a paid hit, essentially what it was.
Because whatever Stokely has been doing, whatever he's been giving all the Ego Ethan Page, the Gun Club, W. Morrissey, giving these cards out to these folks, they all came to the ring and beat the shit out of everybody.
Everybody, yeah. Oh yeah. And I thought that was going to be the thing, and I figured as much. It was a hit though. To me, it felt like a hit because, especially, it was confirmed. It wasn't confirmed as a hit, but since they were disassociated with MJF on Dynamite, you already had to know that it was a hit.
Yeah, because with Stokely only being a manager, him pulling the chip down didn't do anything. He hands it to the devil. He gave the devil the chip, basically selling his soul to the devil. Basically, what that is.
What honestly should have happened, okay, is that MJF should have came back he should have revealed himself then, right? That would have popped, and then he would have had. Then I would have said, "I'm putting everybody on notice tonight. That I am challenging tonight and entering the main event for the AEW World Championship." That's exactly how I would have done it. And I tell you, and then how this would have ended.
And I know you would have had MJF leaving as the champion.
Oh, easily, because
CM Punk in Chicago.
Exactly, and that's exactly how it should have ended. Because then you would have avoided all the bullshit afterwards, or at least the bullshit afterwards.
I think what happened was unavoidable.
Well, I will say that, but I guess what I'm saying is that what happened afterwards would have had less consequence than it does now in our present day wrestling show.
Okay, so a lot of matches over with. Now we got the Trios Championship.
Yep.
Great match between the Dark Order showed how good they were taking on the best in the business.
Oh yeah.
John Silver and Alex Reynolds made household names for themselves.
I love those fucking dudes, man. Those are
fucking... They deserve. And right now they're the Cinderellas. They keep on They keep on losing. Ever since Brody passed, Dark Order has been up and down. They've lost all their members. The way this match ended with, I think John Silver, I think they had him planned originally to kick out of the One-Winged Angel. Because when he hit it, and John Silver, you saw his legs coming up before Hangman got in there.
Yeah.
So I think they were actually going to have John Silver kick out of the One-Winged Angel, which hasn't happened on AEW.
That would have traumatized Kenny Omega.
And I think that's what they wanted to go for. But
I know, that would have been perfect.
They changed the finish. Hangman hits John Silver with the buckshot on accident.
Yeah.
The Elite wins. Okay, cool. Great trio champions. Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, you can't get no better than that.
I mean, you can.
You can. Well, we do now.
Because let's I need to be honest about something, okay? I really need to talk about this. The House of Black should have been the champs.
The issue is the whole Malachi Black situation.
I know, but my then question is then how long has Tony Khan known about this, and why hasn't he done something about it? If this is just something that just came up,
no, it was reported that Malachi Black asked for his release 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but they weren't in the tournament then.
The tournament was just getting ready to start.
No, remember they were eliminated from the tournament by then.
Oh yeah, they lost the first round, didn't they?
Yeah. And to me, and it seems like after that, because I'm like, why are you gonna have Malachi Black get pinned? Ain't no way in absolute fucking bloody fucking fucks should Malachi Black be getting pinned in a group with 2 other people. I don't give a damn.
If anybody's getting pinned in that group, it should be Buddy.
Easily.
And I hate saying that because Buddy is one of the best in the world.
Exactly.
But you can't have Brody King look weak.
No.
The only time you can have Malachi look weak.
The only time you can have Brody King take an L is if he's fighting somebody like Lance Archer or you know what I'm saying?
Darby Allin. Or Darby Allin.
somebody was either somebody with meat or somebody that just doesn't give a fuck. Ain't no way in a trios match that you're gonna have any one of those three men, anybody but Buddy get take an L. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is.
And it has nothing to do against Buddy.
No, nothing at all. But it's the way that a group is set up. Mm-hmm. Why do you think either Jimmy or Jay Uso takes the pin in a match with the Bloodline?
It's Malachi Black. He is a special talent.
He is.
He really is, and I hope he, gets his shit together and works out something with Tony so we can see him again sooner rather than later somewhere, or come back to AEW.
They need to rebuild him.
What does this mean for Brody King and Buddy, though?
That's where my problem lies now. Because now what?
Because now they had to drop the match against Miro, who's not being used correctly. Miro actually wants to. He said publicly he wants to go back to WWE because Triple H is
in charge. But see, this is crazy, and it's like you would have thought that when this happened, right? There would have had to been some sort of shot or some sort of thing, knowing that Vince was probably not going to last forever.
Well, he was in his 80s. I mean, come on.
Well, you not would have thought that you would have probably just held off. Like, I would have just traveled the Indies and not signed a deal.
Or be like what Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae did.
And just sit on your money. You're fucking rich. You got money, dude. And that's the problem now. Now you got all these Triple H guys that Triple H home grew or at least treated more special than anybody else has treated them. And now I want to go hang out with Triple H now. Okay.
I want to go back home. I want to go back where I actually made my name.
Well, you got a 5-year deal, and it's like you got 3.5 years. So good luck. Because I was just saying.
Because Miro hasn't been booked great. Since he dropped the TBS title, he came back and he was great in that the All Atlantic Championship match.
Yeah.
He was great in that, but there's no way Pac does not leave that match as a champion.
No. And the way that it was set up, which goes back to the whole the TNT Championship thing. I'm surprised they didn't put him back in there, but the whole plan was Wardlow to go. So many plans have changed and so many things have shifted since Miro was out. Because remember, Miro was out with an injury, and then Miro went to go film a TV show, which was also a deal that was brought on by this whole wonderful WB Discovery thing, which is something that WWE can't currently offer right now. Is helping with the TV deal.
But at least Triple H is allowing them to do their own social media shit again.
Well, yeah, which allows them to also pursue other ventures. Mm-hmm. But the problem is that when you had an explicit end to the WB Discovery Network, you know what I'm saying? That you don't have that no more because NBC Universal ain't doing shit like that. Fox isn't doing that much shit like it was before. They're still trying to push as many episodes of Family Guy as they fucking can on Fox. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, there's no original content on there. At least with WB Discovery, you can take all these wrestlers and be fucking superheroes or fucking supervillains. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying.
So now we got, and I did like the way they did the Sting with the mist. I actually thought that was a good spot.
Yeah.
And why is Sting looking younger and younger when the motherfucker was supposed to be retired 6 years ago?
It was the mist. That's what it was. It was the mist is making him younger.
Sting is jumping off more shit than Jeff Hardy.
That's right. Which is another fuck up thing that's fucked up on the list is Jeff Hardy with that whole DUI bullshit.
They're gonna, in my opinion, they're gonna have to release both Hardy Boys.
Man, I don't know. I think Tony's gonna try and save him and try to give him the help that he needs. And I think that if he doesn't take that help, or at least fails after it, then he's gonna be gone. Tony Khan seems like the type of person that will give you every opportunity to do great because he knows that's what Vince did. He gave every opportunity to heal himself, even if he's not with the company getting paid. They were still paying for rehab.
Because when he was in Impact, Vince paid for all of his rehab.
I'll pay every single last bit.
And even the Jon Moxley most recently one.
Yeah,
Vince does not like Jon Moxley.
But
he paid for him to go through rehab.
Yep. And I think that Tony Khan has to set that precedent too, or else then they're really going to be like, well, shit, I want to go back to WWE. But who knows now if they're going to pay for the shit because, Vince isn't in charge. Vince is a different animal. Well, I don't know.
And I think that goes, well, I do think Stephanie will take care of the older guys like her dad did. I think she will. But she's not going to push them the way Vince did.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Like call and take her every year. You got one more in you, buddy. You got one more in you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Okay, so now we got the bad booking. I would have rather seen Jay Lethal versus Wardlow and the Motor City Machine Guns against FTR in 2 separate matches, not a 6-man.
Not a 6-man. I know, but it's the problem is that he's out here booking 5-hour shows. Because it's 4 for the main show and then an hour for the pre-show. When you're booking 5 hours for a show, you want to try to stuff as many guys in there so they can get paid.
And I understand that the payoff is Wardlow versus Sajam Singh, but Sajam Singh is injured right now.
Yeah. But
so
now
Jay Lethal has to take the ass whoopings for a couple of weeks.
Well, now they pivoted off of that now, didn't they? They pivoted off of him this week. They pivoted off with Wardlow beat the shit out of who this week?
Jay Lethal.
No, on Dynamite, he beat the shit out of...
I haven't watched all of Dynamite yet.
Oh yeah, so I know whoever Tony Nese. He beat the shit out of Tony Nese. And Mark Sterling. So Mark Sterling's in it.
So Mark Sterling's back in the Wardlow's crosshairs again?
Yeah, he done fucked up now.
This is like the third time he's been here with Wardlow.
Nigga, Wardlow caught Tony Nese with 2 power bombs so fucking quick. I was like, God damn. He snatched that nigga up like he owed him money or some shit.
Tony Khan needs to treat Wardlow like gold. Because if Triple H gets his hands on Wardlow, that is going to be a monster that nobody's going to be able to beat.
Well, the big problem, it's the thing. Now to a point that, okay, he's the TV champion. Well, TNT champion. Okay, that's fine. We get that. Cool. But now, I understand you have the Jay Lethals in the world and the Sanjay Dutts in the world and stuff like that. But if you remember, all the other TNT champions make their money? They fought other TNT champions, right? Or the ranking. That's when the rankings mattered, right?
Well, the problem is all the other TNT champions are just getting squashed by Wardlow every time he steps in the ring with them.
Good. I would like to see him killed by Sammy Guevara again. I like to see Sammy Guevara die again. I would like to see the Scorpio Sky's injured. So he was going to have to fight Miro, Darby Allin, the ghost of fucking Brody Lee. He's going to have to fucking cross the Forbidden Door and beat Cody Rhodes.
What MJF called him? The American roller coaster?
Yeah. I'm just saying that we need.
Well, 2024 is going to be an interesting year.
Well, you mean 2023? Oh, you're talking about 2024 with the signings because that's the end of all these 5-year deals from 2019.
MJF and Wardlow are both free agents in 2024 too.
Everybody that was there since
the inception.
Their contracts are up. All the main stars, guys like Darby Allin, guys like fucking Sammy Guevara.
Mox's contract is up next year, but he already told them that he plans on signing a long-term deal. So.
Oh yeah. I'm willing to bet that Mox is going to be the first 3-time champion.
All right, so on the list. Let's move through this card. We got the best match of the night was probably Jericho Daniel Bryan.
Oh yeah, that was a good
pure wrestling match.
Yeah.
With the exception of the ending, which had to be sports entertainment.
Of course.
I mean, Jericho really has turned back the hands of time when he brings out the Lionheart gear.
Yeah.
When they're challenging the Lionheart, he brings that shit out.
Oh yeah, and I think they do it on purpose though. I think that's what shit.
And what this feud is doing is building the next Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
Because Daniel Garcia, we talked about him a couple years ago when AEW first started and they weren't utilizing him. We're like, this dude's a fucking monster on the mat.
Yeah. Dude,
with that sharpshooter he does with the pullback.
Do you know that Daniel Garcia has been in more matches in the last year and a half on national television than any wrestler on the AEW roster? That's more than Moxley, who has literally been there damn near every week, minus the time that he was in rehab.
And that's where Garcia passed him. It was the 6 months he was in rehab. Because Moxley was wrestling. He was wrestling Dynamite, Rampage, Dark, and Elevation.
Yeah, I'm saying. And so was Daniel. Yeah, Garcia was everywhere.
Garcia was wrestling everything. Last night they had Garcia take the Ring of Honor title off of Wheeler Yuta.
Yep.
I don't know what this does with the Blackpool Combat Club, with Daniel Bryan being such a supporter of Daniel Garcia and putting the title on him. I don't know if that's going to cause some friction between Yuta and Daniel.
I don't think it will, because they did the pure, you know, the pure shake and stuff like that.
Let's be honest here, Danny Bryan is still coming out of the heel tunnel.
Yeah.
He has not once come out of the face tunnel.
No, not at all. And so, but that's the thing though too, is that Daniel Garcia is going to probably be Blackpool Combat Club,
which is a better fit for him.
I honestly say that between her and everybody's calling for Jamie Hayter to be in the Combat Club, that you got your next two right there.
Yeah, because you got Jamie Hayter is going to need to finally break away from Britt Baker, and we saw that happening at All Out.
Oh, that's it. That was it, because during the little, they showed like a backstage thing. It's a wrap. Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker, they're done. She's not in there no more.
Because Jamie Hayter is very talented. She's very young.
She just needs to be on her own. She needs to not be known as fucking Britt Baker's heavy and come out on her own. And being a part of the Blackpool Combat Club is like literally being in the NWO, but with less members, or even the Japanese version of the NWO.
Yeah, because so the Blackpool Combat Club, the way they operate is they're not really a group. They're individuals who do their own thing.
Yeah.
But when they need to fight as a group, they go whoop your monkey ass for William Regal and then go back to doing what they do.
Every time. Like, it's bad enough having to fight Z Mox by himself whoop somebody's ass. But when him and Daniel Bryan were on
when they started that tag team?
Nigga, it was reminded of, it was like Sting and Lex Luger in the fucking early 90s before the NWO. Remember that shit?
It's Stone Cold and Triple H, because they'll beat shit that's bloody.
Nigga, them niggas was just whooping ass for no reason. It felt like it. And
then we actually got the female part of that with Mercedes Martinez and fucking Serena Deeb.
Yeah. I was like, we were somewhere. We were getting somewhere. And man, I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now.
Well, I like Daniel Garcia with the Ring of Honor title, because Wheeler Yuta needs to be on a bigger platform than Garcia does right now.
Well, I think
Garcia can run Ring of Honor.
It might be. I think that you might see Yuta versus fucking Wardlow, and I think Wardlow will win, but that'll be a real test.
Yeah, Yuta will give him a match. Yuta will give him a match.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, finish.
So so then we have that, and then I think we already said the FTR situation. And
I want FTR against the Motor City Machine Guns at least once.
Yeah, at least once in AEW. That would be nice.
If it's for the Ring of Honor tag titles, that's fine.
Yeah. So, did you see the Ruby Soho fucking shit? Remember I told you about what old girl did to her?
So first off, the landing on the side of her neck off of Sammy Guevara's shoulders was fucking nasty.
Yeah.
But if you go back and watch that footage of the Ty KO, you heard her nose shatter against Ty Conti's knee.
Oh yeah. Well, I know. Oh yeah. I said that the kick, because Ty hit her with the one kick where he dropped off the shoulder with more force than Sammy was prepared for.
And she landed like this, fucking just took it.
So
I think the Ty KO knocked her the fuck out.
Bro,
I'm a fan of Ty Conti. I like Ty Conti.
I am, and I'm not. And listen, I was on board with Ty Conti before when her. Because one of the whole shit was Ty Conti and Anna Jay.
Yeah, when Ty Conti was like an honorary member of the Dark Order.
Yeah.
You know, Anna Jay.
And they went to war against the Bunny and fucking Penelope Ford.
The best fucking women's wrestling AEW had to offer at that point.
Yep. And then it went downhill. It only went downhill because it felt like Tony Khan wanted to see hardcore women's matches after that shit. And the nigga need to calm down because not everybody needs to bleed. Okay. But Ruby Soho should have been a champion a long time ago. Ruby Soho.
I honestly think she should have beat Jade Cargill in the finals because Jade Cargill wasn't ready at that point in time.
So, and I agree, but I will also say this. I think that because of what's her fucking name, Big Swole, and the rant she went on the week right before the fucking that and I'm not, you know me, I'm very much pro my people. Okay, I've always been like that. I'm very much pro advancing the movement for African Americans. Okay, however, doing that at the fucking by cutting off the head of Ruby Soho was not the fucking way to do it. And they fucked up a lot of shit because of it.
The fucked up part is too. So let's talk about that match: Athena and Jade. The Eclipse is a protected move.
Yep.
Because Kiera Hogan was off of her spot, breaking up the pin, Jade Cargill kicked out of the Eclipse.
Yep. But Kiera Hogan has always been. Kiera Hogan, when she's on point, is great. But ever since she left Impact,
yeah, she's been having issues. And unfortunately, Kiera Hogan was not around ringside when Athena cashed that check on the other chick with that drop kick into the fucking barricade.
Oh yeah.
She knocked that hoe out. She knocked that bitch out.
Yeah. So but Jade Cargill,
she took the brunt of Kiera Hogan fucking up.
Yeah, but Jade Cargill once again extending her streak.
And since she's been working with Daniel Bryan and them, she has improved a lot in the ring.
Well, yeah, and the crazy part about it is, if you think about it, she only started working with Daniel Bryan about halfway through her title, and you see the improvement. And like I said, I love Jade Cargill. It's not that I don't love Jade. I think they put her in a position where she had to grow up really fucking fast, and there was some growing pains.
Yep.
But she obviously did it. She's her personality and the way that she presents herself is main event.
Yes.
She
acts like a star.
Yeah, like this is like the presentation of Jade Cargill and the way that she carries herself. There's not a star outside of Cody Rhodes that in AEW at the time that literally presented themselves as, when they come in, that they're a fucking main event above everybody else.
No, and you got to thank Cody Rhodes because he put Jade Cargill in that match with Shaq against him in Red Velvet.
Yeah. And sacrifice Red Velvet.
And sacrifice Shaq.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, let's get to the big thing here. Mox versus CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful match. A very good match. Story was very well told in that match.
Yep. And the one thing I did really like about that was I felt like CM Punk and Moxley were telling the story of Mox saying, you're not worthy of this shit, and I'm gonna beat you, and CM Punk having to claw from the bottom all the way to the top.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if you know this or read the room about this one.
About that he tore his pec?
Yeah. So on the Tope Suicida, which, is banned in Control Your Narrative, okay? Banned move.
Yeah, so he's actually keeping people to control your narrative, apparently.
Banned, okay? Is that when he did the Tope Suicida and landed on Mox, that he tore his pec or tore something in his arm. Don't know exactly what, but whatever it is, it's going to be obvious.
He tore his pec.
Yeah.
He did a Cody Rhodes.
But they said his titty wasn't all the way popped. It was popped enough to where he's going to be out for 6 to 8 months. Okay.
So his titty is going to be popped by what happened at the. So before we get to the scrum, because I know that's what we're here for, is the scrum.
Yeah.
The scrum ruined the biggest moment of the night of MJF coming out, and actually the chants of MJF were louder than the cheers for CM Punk in Chicago.
Yes, which is exactly why. Oh my God! Because now you remind me of the cheers in Chicago. We forgot about one match. Fucking Swerving Our Glory in the Acclaim.
Tag team match of the night.
Yeah.
I think they should have pulled the trigger for the Acclaimed win in Chicago because they were. This is the first time I've ever heard Keith Lee get booed.
Yeah.
I've never heard it before.
Until they love the Acclaim, dude. They love the fucking Acclaim.
And so if the rumors are true, Swerve's contract in AEW is almost up.
Yeah.
He only signed a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
Now that Hit Row is back at WWE, the rumor that Triple H was talking to people at AEW, it was Swerve Strickland. Because he knew it was a short-term deal.
Well, this is how if you're going to do it,
Swerve has to screw Keith Lee.
Yep, and then you have the blow-off match where Keith Lee absolutely
destroys him and sends him off back to the Hit Row.
Yep, and then that's it.
Which is where he belongs.
Yeah. Well,
I love Swerve. I love Swerve.
Me too. I love it too. But you see why he was getting booed though, because niggas know, niggas know.
No,
So
the fans, or the marks as people call us,
mm-hmm.
have known since the first Goldberg Brock Lesnar WrestleMania 20 when they were both leaving the company, and it was the worst match in WrestleMania history.
Yeah, they know, and that's the key. Now, when you know, you get booed, and you just gotta eat crow, cause that's it. I think Keith Lee's gonna sign for the long haul, though.
I think unless Triple H tells him he can come back and be the Keith Lee that he was in NXT on the main roster, I think he stays in AEW.
Yeah, but that's where the problem lies, though. So the only way that you make him the Keith Lee that was on the roster is that you got to have him gun for Roman Reigns, because
or you make him the face of this new NXT.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, the old Attitude Era was great, but there was a lot that is wrong with the old Attitude Era.
A lot. If you there's a lot.
To say the least.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, they should have pulled the trigger last minute. Swerve, turn on Keith Lee. Keith Lee and Swerve go to war.
Because you already have that build up from the battle. You already have that build up from the Battle Royal.
Yep.
Where Swerve eliminated Keith Lee, and then Keith Lee wasn't like talking to him for like 2 weeks, and then they were back together again.
Yeah.
But when Keith Lee scissored Billy Gunn, I think that's planting the seeds of the Swerve heel turn before he leaves the company.
Yeah. Which I'm here for it. Like I said, it'll probably be a slow burn, a couple months or so. A slow burn, and then make it happen. So now I'm sorry, let's go back to the media scrum, because I remember the cheers and the boos. That was reminding me of that whole shit.
Yeah, because and there's no feasible reason that MJF should be getting cheered over CM Punk in Chicago.
Listen,
but MJF is just that damn good on the mic, and the way the story, him playing Tony Khan's actual voicemail to him, in the stadium, was like, this whole company just walks over that poor anxious man.
I'm telling you, blurring the lines between work and shoot. So now, but it's not now. That whole thing that happened literally should have all happened when he grabbed the chip. Should have challenged for the title at the end of the night. You have MJF pin CM Punk for the title. You've now protected Mox. Mox goes on vacation. Now you've turned CM Punk can go on his rant at the end of the day. And then you have MJF go on his shit. All right, matter of fact, here we go. Because MJF's the winner and CM Punk's not the winner, CM Punk doesn't even have to be on the damn media scrum.
But he would have still went out and made it about him.
But he could have done that on national TV, and fuck it. It is what it is. He could have went out on Wednesday and then fucking CM Punk confronts his enemies right here on Dynamite. Okay, just like Eddie Kingston did. Okay, and then that's when you.
We started talking about it last night. I got frustrated because you're defending CM Punk, right?
I'm not defending CM Punk. Not like saying CM Punk was right about doing what he did in the fight or speaking about the thing, but we really need to provide context to the whole thing to get the understanding of what exactly happened.
So we all know the Colt Cabana CM Punk shit, the lawsuit, everything from the WWE, everything.
See, we only knew what the lawsuit was about. We knew about CM Punk. So the whole reason why Colt Cabana sued CM Punk was because allegedly, not allegedly, WWE sued Colt Cabana for defamation of character. Well, sued both of them for defamation of character because of the whole shit.
They're making them work injured.
Yeah. That was the whole premise of why this all happened. The issue is that they sued Colt Cabana since he had the media platform for a bunch more money than they were suing CM Punk for. Because it was a national podcast and Colt Cabana's podcast was doing the Cornette numbers, right?
Yes.
And so that's where this whole dispute came from. And that's where the whole Colt Cabana CM Punk saga came from.
Okay. So let's cut it right there real quick.
Yeah.
CM Punk steps up to the media scrum, gets his little juice and his little pastries, and first thing out of his mouth says, so how many of y'all actually think you're media members?
Yeah,
that was an assholeish thing to say to people.
Yeah,
That's
who,
number
y'all
one
consider
as an
yourself
asshole
media
thing to
journalists.
say.
Yep.
And then he picks a guy who he knows did stand up with Colt Cabana before.
Yeah, Nick.
Even though him and Colt Cabana are not friends anymore,
Yeah.
still picks this one target to bring up all the shit about Colt Cabana, and then gets mad at why people keep asking about it. Because you keep fucking talking about it.
But see, this is the thing, though. He had not said anything. Prior to this, he never said a word about Colt Cabana. The whole Colt Cabana shit happened because of Adam Page. He went into business for himself.
Adam Page apologized for it.
No, he didn't. That was
I thought
why
he
this
did.
all happened. He allegedly, no, he did not. That's why that is why he went off the way that he went off. And that's why he called Adam Page a fuckhead. Because the whole shit was that after he went into business for, because that interview itself, that promo was awkward as fuck. Awkward as fuck.
Yeah.
And then CM Punk
looked like he did not want to be in the ring.
No, CM Punk, he's like, dude, this is just a wrestling match. Why are you fucking, it's just business. What are you tripping for? You know, I'm like, I didn't think that this promo was going to go like this. I wasn't expecting this.
But Hangman, okay. So this was, and I told you this when we did the one about WrestleMania. Hangman was going to get lost in the shuffle with Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, CM Punk, all these guys coming in when Hangman was the champion.
Mm-hmm. I know.
So Hangman probably thought to keep his name relevant, he had to push some buttons.
And so now we have to go back to, who do you think helped him guide him push those buttons?
Oh, we all know it was Lee. We know it was Kenny in the Bucks.
Okay, so
we know it was.
So now,
so now Colt Cabana too, because Hangman was the first one to stand up for Colt Cabana when Tony Khan tried to fire him.
So now that we're all in agreement on that, okay. So now we have to understand that when you hire CM Punk and you also have Colt Cabana on your roster, something's got to give.
But you literally kept them as far away from each other as you could.
And
you
they
moved
did.
the Dark Order down the card to keep Colt Cabana away from CM Punk.
Yeah, because
so you sacrificed a faction that is over for a guy who hasn't wrestled in 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah. You know
why? That's fan shit.
But do you know why?
Why?
Out of the 4 pay-per-views that happened this year.
Okay, the money. But also, before CM Punk got there, the Dark Order was the highest earning accessory group in the company.
True. But they weren't drawing pay-per-view money. At the end of the day, the wrestling business is fucked, okay? The actual business of making professional wrestling and making a pay-per-view worthy card and selling tickets and all this jazz is a fucked up business.
Because you realize what has effectively happened, right? They are effectively deleting Brody Lee's memory from the Dark Order and AEW due to the fact that, you're going to be the lifelong champion, kid, -1. -1 has not been seen on any AEW shit in about 9 months.
Give or take. Here and there, but not anything significant. I get that. No, he was on the when they did the State of the Dark Order address after Stu Grayson
that one instance.
Okay.
But so you don't renew Alan Angel's contract, who was over with the fans and performing at his best.
Uh-huh.
You don't renew Stu's,
which again because Evil Uno and Stu Grayson been tagging forever.
And Grayson was over with the fans and performing at his best.
Okay.
Even on Being the Elite, which is a big moneymaker for AEW.
I agree. I agree.
There's a lot of shit they did to the Dark Order that shouldn't have happened.
I agree. Now, here's the thing. We know the reason why the Dark Order didn't win the tag team titles like they should have, and it was because of Omega and the Bucks. We know that.
But I do have a little cross argument for that one. I think if 10 did not get hurt, I think the Dark Order wins that match. The reason is, I don't think they put the belts on them because of Hangman.
But why not? If the tag team that you're going to have as the team is Grayson and Uno, or Silver and Reynolds, which were the 2 tag teams that they had. That's what I'm saying.
Right now, the only active competitors in the Dark Order right now, in the actual Dark Order, are Silver and Reynolds.
Yeah.
Because 10 got hurt in the last trios match.
Yep. And Uno
That's why
got hurt.
Hangman had to step up and do his thing.
Uh-huh.
If you still had Stu Grayson and you didn't have fucking Evil Uno in Germany promoting the video game that you cut him from the roster on, let's get that straight too. They cut Evil Uno out of Fight Forever, even though he's the main guy promoting the shit. Did not bring him back. Where we all know he's a very capable wrestler, and him, Reynolds, and Silver make a great 3-man team. But you leave him in Germany for this other shit, which I know was a Kenny Omega move, since the game is Kenny Omega's baby. You need Evil Uno to promote it because Evil Uno is the man. And Evil Uno even saved AEW after the scrum with the shit he was saying on Twitter that got the fans happy again.
So,
Evil Uno for champion, goddammit!
So what you're saying is that Kenny Omega and the Bucks have a lot of blame to go around for a lot of shit before we even get to the media scrum.
Before we get to the media scrum.
Okay.
But, the picture I sent you to use as a thumbnail for this video, CM Punk said in that press conference, if you have a problem with me, come see me face to face. And the Bucks and Kenny Omega were like, all right, bet.
But they quickly found out that don't do that.
That Ace Steel likes to throw chairs at people.
And bite people, and CM Punk likes to knock niggas out. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
So, yes, CM Punk had a very failed UFC career, but the dude still knows how to fight.
Yeah, listen. Even the worst UFC fighter will still whoop anybody's motherfucking ass on any given day. You fuck around and you will find out. I'm just saying.
Even the White Ranger from the Power Rangers, who is UFC fighter now, he will whoop your ass if you make fun of him.
Oh yeah, easily. So so like I said, so I'm not defending CM Punk, and I'm not saying it's the Bucks' fault, it's Omega's fault, it's not CM Punk, it's CM Punk's fault. Blah. I'm not saying any of that. But the shit that really built up to this, there's really only one person's fault in this whole thing, and it's Tony Khan's. Because
he doesn't have balls to tell the alphas to shut up.
That is a big one. I'll give you a 1B. He didn't foster a relationship to where he was the end all be all when it came to anything. He didn't foster that relationship. He fostered a friendship relationship. Remember the Big Swole situation? How he was smoking blunts with Big Swole in the parking lot. Well, before during fucking the pandemic bullshit. Okay, now if we rewrite history, I said the biggest problem that they had was the timing of Hangman Page having his daughter. Okay, that was
because Hangman had to go away for a few months.
Yeah, how that really should have been done. Okay, is that the Dark Order should have won the tag team titles from the Young Bucks at that point, which would have ensured Hangman's a title match, right? But then you write off the injury angle where you beat the living shit out of fucking Hangman Page and make sure he doesn't show up to the title match. Yeah. Okay, then he goes off for the 6 weeks. He has his baby, shows up against the Joker, the Joker in the ladder match, wins the thing. Challenges Kenny Omega, wins the title, and then the rest is history. But because of politics and bullshit, that didn't happen. Dark Order should have won the titles a long time ago. Exactly at that moment when I told you. That's exactly when they should have won the titles. And because they didn't, now we're fucked. So Hangman Page's payoff was after his team lost. And then he lost, and now he had to be treated like shit, and the only way he can get back in was a Casino Battle Royal. That was shit booking. Because everything that you had on tap for Hangman all went down the drain because now you made him look like a loser in front of the Elite. Okay? So now when he comes back...
But then you have the good redemption arc.
If they would have done it the way of the Dark Order won the match... They injured and maimed Hangman Page like they did Kenny like Dusty Rhodes, like the Four Horsemen did Dusty Rhodes back in the day fuck this shit up, okay, for 6 weeks. Not even talk about the pregnancy bullshit, okay? Then he comes back. Now you're like, oh, fuck, this nigga's back. Kenny Omega's fucked. Because then at that point, then you could have really set the Kenny Omega reign of terror with Bryan Danielson and Mox and all the people that he faced at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't do that. And
that's we all knew. Everybody knew Kenny Omega needed to be rebuilt.
Yeah, and that's
physically rebuilt.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like he could have went on a reign of terror, and even not even have been in matches, but just a whole reign of terror until Hangman Page came back. Hangman Page beats him, then Kenny Omega goes away. Now they've slayed Hangman Page slayed the dragon. Everybody wanted slayed. Kenny Omega goes away for a while, and then a Page goes off and have bangers. But it doesn't help when Daniel Bryan comes in and calls him a less deserving champion. You know what I'm saying?
And Adam Cole. And
Adam Cole calls him a less deserving champion. And everybody and their mama calls him a less deserving champion when they come face him. And then now, when you bring in CM Punk, who didn't say anything bad about Hangman Page, by the way, did not say a word.
No, I will give CM Punk that. I will give him that.
Okay? Because he could have said a lot. And he didn't.
The thing is, I think when people listen to this, they're going to think I don't like CM Punk. I am a huge CM Punk fan. James knows this.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a big CM Punk fan.
And instead of this being, you've came in here, this really should have been what the promo should have not went nowhere talking about I hate you, I hate everything you stand for. When Hangman was talking about CM Punk, blah, 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 blah. It really should have went something like this. CM Punk, you came back in September to a hero's welcome. Everybody loved you. The world is chanting your name. Kids in the stadium crying. Meanwhile, I was tearing down the house with Kenny Omega. I was tearing down the house with Bryan Danielson. I was tearing down the house with Adam Cole. You stayed stagnant. He stayed in a stagnant thing with MJF, and you battled him, and you got bloodied, and you did everything you did, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm here to tell you that I'm no MJF. I am Hangman fucking Adam Page, and I have slayed everybody that has come across my path, and blah, 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 and promoted himself.
So I get what you're saying.
I have no reason to invest in Adam Page. That's what my problem was. When it came time to invest in Adam Page as a serious contender, because we all felt like, because everybody said that he's not a worthy champion, once CM Punk came to in the title picture, everybody knew that the writing was on the wall. So everyone.
My only thing with what you just said, what Hangman should have said, it would have just been a rehash what MJF said 3 months before that.
But MJF treated him like a hero. It wouldn't have not been a hero story. This is, you're coming after my title.
But it's still the context though of what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's still the context.
And listen, and that would have been fine. But this is AEW. This isn't where you came from. This isn't anywhere you've ever been before. This is hell. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna put you through it. And he didn't promote himself. Hangman Page throughout that whole CM Punk thing did not promote himself as a person to beat what you call him. He said, I'm going to embarrass you. He didn't say I was going to beat him. I'm going to embarrass you. That's literally his words in the interview. I'm going to embarrass you.
I know.
He said nothing about beating him. Not a word. So when he didn't promote himself as well as a champion, everybody called him out on being a shit champion out of the ring and inside the ring, up to and including Jim Cornette.
But promos are not Hangman Page's strong suit. It never has been. His strong suit is what he does in the ring.
Well, bringing up Colt Boom Boom Cabana didn't do him any favors either. And if he did it at the behest of the Elite, bringing up Colt Boom Boom Cabana, okay, Scott Colton, whatever fuck you want to call his ass, okay, if that was the case, because that's what everybody feels like that was the case, then he deserved that rant that happened post in the media scrum. Because CM Punk never went there with them, never went there with the Bucks, never went there with Omega. Hell,
but he
Omega
brought up in that rant, he brought up the airheaded EVPs or the fake EVPs.
Well, yeah, in the rant, yeah, but I'm saying, but not any time before that. Omega versus Punk would have been a banger. And now that's probably off the table unless cooler heads prevail.
Well, so after everything happened, they said Omega and Punk actually talked, but nothing was resolved.
No, because at least Hangman tried. I mean, Omega tried to save the dog. But now we're at a point where I think we're at a point of no return.
So
because
the CM Punk stay in AEW?
Yes.
Do you think Tony Khan is going to keep him around?
Yes, and I'll tell you why.
Money?
Mm-hmm. We're still in the budding era of a company, okay? And we're still at a point where work shoot is now a thing now in wrestling because Triple H is doing it with success over in WWE, having Seth Rollins calling Matt Riddle a bitch ass and he couldn't keep his family, which is literally the whole news, okay, about that whole shit, okay? We're work shooting now, people. We're work shooting.
And having Riddle drop F-bombs.
Listen,
Monday Night Raw.
And we have work shooting with Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. Okay, we were work shooting in that one, and that was a banger of a match too. So now, at some point, when this has to come back around, like we ruin MJF's title shit. I don't know how they come back from this. Yes, he has the chip, but one of two things has to happen. Either
I think they started setting up what it's going to end being last night.
What, Mox and fucking what you going?
We're finally going to get the Mox MJF feud. We're finally going to get it.
And that was a good feud the first time around.
It's going to be better now.
Well, I hope so.
Because Mox is sober.
Yeah. Mox is sober and MJF is more seasoned. I get it. You know, I'm fine with that. I just feel like if MJF loses to Mox, then that's fucked. If Mox loses to MJF,
I honestly think Mox will drop it to MJF so Mox can actually take his time off.
I think so. See, to me, what should have probably happened is they should have did this all in one night, or at least the final four in one night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have them wrestle 2 matches, 2 hell matches. So think about this. I got you. So you're going to have Jericho versus Bryan Danielson one more time, because that's what that bracket's setting up.
And I think Bryan Danielson wins that match.
And then now we have we're probably gonna have Sammy Guevara and fucking and Jon Moxley,
because that's something we haven't seen yet.
Yep. And then which means that the main event would probably be, because to get the win back, you're gonna have the 2 people the Blackpool Combat Club, right? And then you can't have Bryan Danielson lose to MJF because it doesn't make sense per se,
unless unless he beats Mox, which. Putting the belt on either Mox or Danielson is not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea as a whole. But what I was thinking is that you can have him cash in the chip, right? You cash in the chip that night. Whoever he can say that whoever wins, I'm cashing in the chip that night. That's what my contract is for.
And then if you have Mox win, or Mox get hurt and Bryan wins, then Mox will have that redemption arc to come back and take the belt from MJF.
Yeah.
While not ruining the aesthetics of the Combat Club.
Yeah.
Because Bryan Danielson and Mox are going to have a fucking banger.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be a banger. Guaranteed.
Yeah. And however it goes, you're going to have to
They're both going to be worth for wear.
Yeah. However it goes, my whole thing is that at this point, you have to keep CM Punk away from the heavyweight title picture.
You have to keep him away from the company for a while.
Well, he's going to be out. Oh, so he's going to be out for 6 to 8 months.
Yeah,
he popped the city. 6 to 8 months.
My only thing is this. If Tony Khan doesn't do something drastic, yes, stripping the titles is drastic, whatever. But if he doesn't start to put a harder foundation and rules against these guys, it's going to ruin AEW.
So, which goes back to a statement that I posted it on Twitter. And I said, at this point, he really needs to consider taking the wrestling veterans that he has, the back locker room that he has, which is Jerry Lynn, Dean Malenko, William Regal.
Last night, what did I say?
Yeah.
Let William Regal handle talent relations.
Well, right now, Christopher Daniels is heading talent relations.
Yeah, but Christopher Daniels was a part of that fight. He is suspended.
Yeah, I know. Which is what
William Regal was not going to put himself in that situation.
Yeah, because he's buddy with the Bucks, and I get that, and that's what I'm saying. And that's what you have. At some point, you have to let go of the reins. Tony Khan has to let go of the reins, of the locker room and talent relations. Tony Khan cannot do it all.
So, how about this idea? Make William Regal the GM role, right?
Okay.
Since the wrestlers are comfortable actually talking to Tony Schiavone about their issues, have Schiavone be that middleman, which he is right now for Tony Khan.
Yeah.
But reporting to William Regal.
They need to have a structure of bookers, agents, all those guys.
William Regal needs to be the head of it. He does.
Listen, even call Conan if you need to. Because, especially if you need to relate to your Spanish wrestlers too, call fucking Conan, because he's been the buffer between Mexico and the United States when it comes to fucking wrestlers.
Conan's also having that tumor removed from his stomach, so
I know, but he said he would relish the job of doing it because it's phone calls. Let's have conversations. Let's talk about this shit.
They used Conan with Proud and Powerful, and now Ortiz and Santana are not getting along. And
now nobody can fix it. And you know what I'm saying? And Conan's like, he's hurt now. Well, Ortiz is there. Santana fucked up his leg.
Oh, yeah, Santana's going to be gone from the company soon. So
yeah, he fucked up his leg and his contract's in it. So it is what it is. But that's where the problem lies now. Now, we're at a point where it's a bunch of fuckery, cousin. There ain't no way out.
Would you use, in a professional sense, Eddie Kingston as a mediator? Or is he too hardened on what was done to him in the past?
I don't think
a lot of these guys.
No, I think Eddie Kingston is. My whole thing is that Eddie Kingston, oddly enough, to me, should have won a title a long time ago. He should have been TNT champion, AEW champion, a tag team champion, some sort of champion. Given what he had, they had the momentum, and they fucking didn't pull the trigger. I think that at this point, either make him keep him as a talent and have him win some shit, or I don't want to say let him go, but I'm just like, what is he doing there?
I'm gonna say something right now that's gonna probably upset you.
What?
You didn't change the overlay. It still says Outsiders.
I selected it and I downloaded
it. Don't worry about it. The show's about over. So
it is what it is. But
it'll be fixed on the next one.
But now the point,
I think Eddie Kingston can be used as a guy for. Don't let him interact with Brian, Punk, these guys.
He already said
he hates such a hatred for these guys.
Yeah, because
let him work with the young talent.
Yeah,
the Daniel Garcias, the 2.0s, these guys.
I just feel like there's in the next 3 or 4 weeks, there's got to be some major changes into how this is handled.
Yeah, and Tony Khan is going to need to let somebody else run shit. Tony Khan can be the money man. Tony Khan can do what he wants, but he needs that alpha to control the alphas.
He could be the money man, and hell, he could even be the guy that talks to the media, the media guy, and stuff like that.
The media likes him. The media likes him.
Yeah, he could be that guy and be the guy that represents his company. However, from a wrestler perspective,
Tony Khan is the poster child of being a beta to all these alphas.
You can't do that. You can't because you're gonna let them walk over you, all around you, and through you.
See, Vince wasn't a wrestler, but he would cut your fucking head off.
Oh yeah, because
that's why Vince got the fucking respect.
Because Vince would not only fire you, he would make sure that nobody else hires you.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying.
Tony Khan doesn't have that pool.
Nope, doesn't have that pool, and he can't do it because he loves professional wrestling and he's trying to get rid of the toxic bullshit that was in it. The problem is that right now he's fostering a different type of toxic bullshit.
I was about to say, the toxicness has entered the AEW locker room.
Yeah, I'm saying he fixed one set of toxic. Now and because of it, now what he's doing is toxic.
He needs to be happy that Chris Jericho was still there in the building.
Yeah,
when all that shit popped off.
Yeah,
and also happy that Eddie Kingston was not in the building because Eddie Kingston probably would have attacked CM Punk.
I think Eddie Kingston would have just kicked everybody's ass.
I think he would have shanked somebody. Eddie Kingston is not afraid to go back to jail. We all know this.
Somebody presented a nice argument, and I want to hopefully end it with this argument.
Okay.
There has to be a whole entire group in there that hates both the Elite and CM Punk.
That's Eddie Kingston.
And I said that too. I commented that. And I said it has to be Eddie Kingston. And I bet you guys like Mox, Bryan Danielson, even though they have respect and love for CM Punk. But what he's doing is not conducive. Right there, though.
Eddie Kingston hates Claudio and Bryan Danielson.
But loves fucking Jon Moxley.
He loves Mox. He loves Wheeler Yuta. And of course he loves William Regal.
Yeah. Well, him and Mox came from the same bloodline. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. So at some point, I almost guarantee you that third faction, which is probably going to be the most active faction in wrestling right now, coming up in the next few weeks, are going to be the ones that are going to fix AEW and get it back, get the ship right.
I have an idea for a grouping.
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston
and
the Dark Order.
Oh, that would be good. To give them a new edge.
It'll give them that more hardcore edge. You could turn the Dark Order heel again.
Yeah.
With Eddie Kingston at the helm.
Yeah.
Since they lost out on Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Because we all know the Dark Order started as going to be a joke. Then Brody Lee came in.
Yeah.
And the Dark Order made everybody respect them.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Then people started dropping like flies. And the Jay left the group for no fucking reason.
Because they hung out with Ty Conti because they had to finish
that shit. And actually, you could have Eddie, Uno, Silver, and Reynolds, Ruby Soho, and Ortiz, all part of this group.
Yeah. There's a lot. And you just have to rebuild it from the ground up again. It's instill like this shit, and then and just
at that point you can put the belt on Eddie Kingston while they fix things. Yeah. And he could be the Mad King again and just taking out people left and right.
Well, and also you could probably bring in Buddy Matthews, Brody King. And you know what I'm saying? These stalwarts that have just been left because of bullshit that's happened. You know what I'm saying?
And now we don't know if Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole are going to stay because Bobby Fish left.
Well, Bobby Fish left. Adam Cole has a 5-year deal, and so does Kyle O'Reilly. But Kyle O'Reilly's going to be out for the next year. He had neck fusion surgery. Yeah. At least a year. Minimum a year.
Because I love Bobby Fish that he challenged CM Punk to a real fight.
Well, and
because he don't like CM Punk.
I know.
He never has.
No, but it is what it is. Listen, at this point, and I'm gonna say just like I said yesterday on the NFL show, everybody was right, everybody was wrong, everybody needs to get punished severely for what happened because it ruined the integrity of the wrestling business.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This was all bad for business.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Whether you view what CM Punk did is right, or whether you view what the Young Bucks and Omega is right, at the end of the day, it was bad for AEW and the wrestling business as a whole. And we have some irreparable damage that has been done. Some that can be fixed, but a lot of irreparable damage. And the only way that we can get past it is to tell good stories that stop talking about the bullshit. And it started with Mox's promo on Dynamite, with best promo.
Well, MJF's promo and then Mox's promo. That situation with MJF right there, I'm telling you right now, if they go forward with what it looks like they get ready to do, I have faith in AEW because Tony Khan probably went to both of those guys like, I need help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Mox came out there being completely fucking honest. Yeah. He's pissed off about everything that happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just glad that MJF had fun with his fake babyface promo. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah! Yeah!
I'm like, this is beautiful.
But the best part is this part that wasn't supposed to happen. And then Taz's comment when it happened. Oh, the shirt's got him in an armbar. Because the shirt getting cut was not supposed to happen.
Yeah, I know.
But Taz's like, oh, the shirt's got him in an armbar.
That's why you don't wear them tight shirts. All right.
Or take your watch off before you try to fight somebody.
That's true. All right, Big Sid. You know we were supposed to go an hour. We went 2.5. I probably pissed off some family members. We got to do this again We gotta gauge this next week and see if we can come back, or maybe in a couple weeks, see how some of this plays out.
I say this should be maybe a monthly thing.
All right. Well, when we come back to it, we'll come back to it in a month or so.
So
we're gonna see how everything plays out.
What I need you to do right now is like, comment, and subscribe, ring that bell so you know more Synful Blaq reactions as it comes live. A lot of new content coming soon from myself. I don't know what Hollywood's doing, but he knows my plan. So
I got a lot of work to do in a couple different spaces, but I promise I'm gonna make it worth everybody's while. I promise. I'm working on a couple things. Don't you fret.
You, sir, we are meeting up again on Saturday to record reactions.
Yes, sir.
Because Sunday football starts, I will not be home.
No, yeah, Saturday 5:30, 6 o'clock ish, and we'll get it started. Record our reactions, and then we will do our thing.
Then Wednesday night, NFL Live, baby.
Yes, sir. So, until next time, we are the industry outsiders.
Outsiders.
The
outsiders.
the
outsiders.
What? The
outsiders.
What?
we the Michigan boy. We the outsiders.
That's right. And we are out this thing, baby. Deuces. My mouse doesn't work.
Later, Toby.
Later, Toby.